Yo. We are back. The Four Horseman is in the building, coming off of a 1 month hiatus. We are back. Premium Takes is back in your life. I'm joined by my fellow horsemen. I'm going to have them introduce themselves.
What up?
What's
What up?
going
What up? What's
on?
going on? Oh, my fault. Yeah, my fault. What up?
It's been a
What up,
while. We're
though?
still
Been a
getting
while.
back into the flow of things.
Let's
It's your
go.
boy MacDaGiantsFan, man. What is going on out there? Riding with his four horsemen premium takes back in full effect.
Absolutely. We got Mac here, we got Jeff here, we got Adam here, and we have a great episode planned for you guys. First off, welcome to all you guys that joined. Welcome Logan, welcome Namir, welcome Mitch. The show wouldn't be nothing without you guys fans, and we appreciate you guys for giving us some time to get things adjusted. I know football season started. I know everybody there's four of us, so schedules can kind of mix and match. I'm over here on the West Coast trying to get with my time. So things happen, but guess what, guys? Premium Takes is back in you guys' lives, and we know, guys. The Giants are 5-1, and you guys know you guys want to talk about football. We know you guys we talk about the Giants, 6-1 soon to be. But we're gonna start it off. There's a current sport going on right now. It's baseball, and I'm not a bad fan of baseball, but you know. This show we cover everything, and while baseball is going on in the playoffs, I'm gonna ask, "What's up, Hit Squad?" I'm gonna ask our resident baseball guy, Jeff, our knowledge guy on baseball, to kind of give you guys a preview on what's been going on in the baseball world lately in the MLB. So the first topic we're gonna start off with is MLB baseball. So what's going on in the playoffs right now, Jeff?
Well, first off, the Mets sucked, so they got
Uh-huh.
eliminated incredibly early. They couldn't hit, they couldn't pitch, they couldn't do anything right, and that's why they bounced immediately out of the wild card round against the San Diego Padres. So that got to get that out of the way. The Mets pretty much
Absolutely.
embarrassed themselves in front of their home crowd, where they got shut out in that last game. So the Mets have been sitting at home for the past couple of weekends. In terms of the playoffs right now, I mean, it's just pretty much status quo in the AL. The Houston Astros are kicking the living hell out of the New York Yankees. Yankees can't hit. Yankees can't pitch. Yankees can't do anything right now against that Houston Astros team. It's like there's one franchise right now that has a black cloud sitting over Yankee Stadium and over that New York Yankees franchise. It's the Houston Astros, because with every time those two teams play against each other, it just seems like the Yankees forget how to play the game of baseball. And that happened again today as the Yankees fell again. They got shut out at Yankee Stadium this afternoon, and right now they're trailing in that series 3-0, and it's just looking like it's possible they could get swept in that series. So in the AL, it's not looking competitive at all. Houston looks like they're well on their way to another World Series. So the AL is just pretty much status quo. Houston's on their way to the World Series again. The Yankees, it's going to be a lot of talk right now going on in Yankee Stadium in the Yankees world right now. And in terms of the NL, got ourselves a little bit competitive matchup. It was just 6-4. San Diego now, and Rhys Hoskins just hit his second home run, so now it's 6-6 in that Philadelphia game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the San Diego Padres, tied up in Philly right now. The Phillies right now lead that series 2-1. So the Phillies are trying to take a commanding 3-1 lead in that series right now. Hell no, I don't want to see that. Neither does Mac, for obvious reasons. But at the same time, right now, the NL seems like it's going to be a pretty solid competitive series. Might even go about 5, 6, 7 games. Both teams going back and forth right now. Neither team is pitching well at all in this game. I mean, it's just home run city. Every time I look up, I see a home run going out of the Philadelphia Phillies stadium. So that's just pretty much the baseball update right now. The Mets are pretty much scouting to see who we're going to be looking at in the offseason in terms of pitching, in terms of hitting, in terms of bullpen, and in terms of the championship series we got right now. Well, the Dodgers, the Braves, they pretty much got bounced immediately. Nobody expected that to happen, that those two teams would get bounced out as early as they did. Two of the best teams in Major League Baseball, along with the Mets. They barely even lasted out of the NLDS. So it's just pretty much two teams that came out of nowhere, even though you might not say they came out of nowhere. But at the same time, this has been a competitive, fun series. And the Yankees, they're going to have a lot of questions to answer in front of their fans if they end up getting swept in that series against the Houston Astros, who just, for some reason, that team can never get it right against the Astros. The Astros just have a hex against that Yankees team. But, yeah, That's the baseball playoffs going on right now in terms of everything that's happening this year.
I mean, if I could just add any slight thing to it, I mean, the National League. It's been fun watching the National League playoffs. I mean, it's sucks as a Mets fan, but like you just said, the three big boys in the National League all season long got
Mm-hmm.
knocked off, man, early in these playoffs, in the National League playoffs, and you sitting here right now in the NLCS with the two lowest seeded teams going into the National League playoffs. That's what it's all about, man. You get there in the playoffs, you get an opportunity, and anything can happen, man. You got to get there first, though. When you get in them playoffs, it's all off. It's all all bets is off, man. Right now, you got the number 5 and number 6 seeded team from the National League playoffs playing for an opportunity to go to the World Series. So that's just what it's all about, man. And it's been a really fun series to watch.
Absolutely. Adam, do you have anything to add on that in the world of baseball?
I'm just disappointed in the Yankees, and it seems to happen with them every year. They build up this big season, they get to the playoffs, and with I don't know if it's Aaron Boone or whatnot, but they don't seem to cash in. So let's see what they can do, and let's hope they can cash in. Otherwise, it's going to be a real disappointing season, at least in baseball, for New York.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't follow baseball, but what I do know is, that Judge broke the record, and well, I think the record's like 79 or something like that. But he got 62 home runs, so hopefully that translated to the tournament. That being said, we're going to move on to the NBA talk. We're not going to spend too long on this topic, being that the season just started. How do you guys feeling about your teams? I know for me personally, I don't really count the opening of the season. Teams are just trying to mesh. It's not like football where
Okay.
these games really matter. Well, 0-2 is Miami Heat, and I'm fine. Like I'm comfortable being 0-2. Like
I knew it.
I'm not even worried about it.
We're 0-2. That's why we don't care.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
even
Oh,
worried
it's the
about
start
it.
of
I
the
mean, like,
season.
If
this is
you're
start of the
2-0 right
season.
now, you're like, the Heat are going to the NBA championship. We're winning it all this year. Nobody's beating us. Let's go, bam.
But, if we don't fix it by the end of November, early December, January, there's a problem. But 0-2, I can't be that mad at the Heat. But let's figure things out and start playing like
That's
a
right,
team.
Zion. There's 70 more games left.
Absolutely. There's 80. There's 80 games. Like
Don't worry.
Who knows what could happen?
I don't know if you're in apparel yet.
0-10.
That being said, how's your guys' teams going in the NBA?
Well, the Nets have been like a tale of two teams
What,
the first
the
two
Nets?
games of the season. The Nets have been the first game. It's like they didn't even bother to show up. They looked completely lost on the court. They couldn't rebound. They couldn't defend. They couldn't do anything right against that New Orleans Pelicans team. Ben Simmons pretty much fouled out during the third quarter of the game. He was horrific. Kyrie Irving couldn't buy a shot that entire game. They got out-rebounded by double the amount. But in the second game, at least, they were able to come back and they had a much better performance. Nicholas Claxton, that's a dude that a lot of people have to start looking out for because this dude looks primed and ready to have himself a nice season overall because he's had a couple of double-doubles so far. He's blocking shots. The Nets have had 11-plus blocks so far in their first two games. Yes, it's 2 games, but still they're starting to play a little bit better in terms of the shot blocking. Kevin Durant, he's playing pretty solid for the beginning of the season, as well as Kyrie Irving had a much better shooting performance the other night against the Toronto Raptors. So the Nets have been pretty much an up-and-down team for the first couple of days. But you know what? When you have a team that's just with a bunch of new pieces, it's going to take a little time for this team to gel. So I want to see this team, how they look in 10, 15, 20 games, and then I'll pretty much, talk about how they are. As for the Knicks, the Knicks look pretty solid too. They laid a whooping that other night. I mean, they won that game for over 20 points. I mean, the Knicks, they got some nice young talent over there on that team. And it's just if Thibodeau can be able to coach that team up, get that young talent the most out of them, and pretty much if he's going to allow that young talent to be able to flourish and play in that season. So watch out for the Knicks. And hey, Mitch, how's 0-3 feeling for your Philadelphia 76ers, huh? It's in turmoil right now, yeah? A little turmoil going on down there.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
He's talking about wanting Doc Rivers to get fired right now. He wants Doc Rivers out of there.
I'm glad we're, in the NBA season. I'm getting a little nervous that these shots are being fired.
I love it. What do you feel about what's up, Cole? What do you feel about the Nets so far? Any teams that surprising you? I know it's only 2-3 games in. Any teams that you've been watching that surprised you, Adam? Or how do you think the Nets are doing right now?
Well, the Nets are the Nets. That's who they've always been. They give you the inconsistent performances. Seems like until they find themselves, we need to figure them out. I like how they're shot blocking early on. That's interesting to me. Let's see if they can keep that up, because if they can have a rim protector, that could help them out, down the road when they play these teams that kind of slash to the basket. Because when you don't have a rim protector, it just makes it nice and easy for a team like Milwaukee to throw it down low in the post and just keep, pounding the rock that way, So let's see how they do. As far as basketball goes, Phoenix Suns, man, they were interesting. I was watching their game the other night, and they looked like they were completely out of it. Completely out of the game, right? Getting blown out. All of a sudden, second half of the game, they just like turn it on and storm back. And you're just like, Phoenix, why can't you just get out the gate like the way you come out in the second half? You'd win games by blowouts. But, the Phoenix Suns are who they are. And when you start out slow, it's hard to come back. And they end up losing the game. But they're intriguing to me to watch right now.
Well,
I love it. Mac?
Now you guys know I'm not really a big fan of the NBA anymore these days, but I must say, impressed with Boston getting off to the quick 3-0 start. All things considered, everybody was trying to slightly, not completely count them out. There's still a lot of talent on that roster, but you lose there, get their coach get suspended for the entire season, right? Right pretty much before the season starts. It's a lot to overcome, man. And
So who's coaching them now? Stevens?
it's impressive to see Boston get off to that 3-0 start.
I'm not even sure. The youngest head coach. It's apparently the youngest head coach right now in the NBA. He's like 34 years old. But that talent, they got a lot of talent on that roster. So
they do.
And we all know in the NBA, talent always is going to help out a team no matter what. I mean, talent's always the biggest thing. If you have stars that can play up to their potential, like Boston has, because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are doing exactly what Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum do, and that's play damn well, especially against Zion's Miami Heat the other night. Both of them played
Heat
incredible
Nation.
that game.
Well, the best antidote for adversity is playing a game, right? And these guys know what they're doing. I know that their coach is not there, but maybe this is like, hey, let's go out there and prove like, we can get through this adversity and still be the top seed in the Eastern Conference. So good for them. I love Tatum. I know a New York guy shouldn't be loving Boston, but the NBA for me is a little different, people. I'm not, loyal to it. I'm loyal to the Nets, but I've always been loyal to players and guys, players that intrigue me across the league. So Brandon Tatum's always been that guy, and I like to see him do well. Let's see if he can get over the hump. This is we talk about 3-0 in the NBA. That's nothing really, because it's not until after the All-Star break when you can really start to see who's really working for the playoffs. But let's see if they can come through. That was their problem last year. They kind of got worn out, and they couldn't play with the Eastern Conference team. And
oh no, you're funny, bro.
Absolutely, and not to interrupt you real fast, Adam, but don't go anywhere, guys. We have a bunch of football topics coming up, and we're gonna spend majority of the majority of the stream talking football. So don't go anywhere. We're just trying to get all these other topics out of the way. And one thing I didn't mention before we started, and I apologize for that. For those of you who's looking at the background, we're brought to you by Hardcore Sports. Please go check out their channel. It's actually streamed on all 4 channels and also on Hardcore Sports Network. The links is down below for everybody. So please, if you haven't already, go click on everybody's channel, including Hardcore Sports. And that being said, we're gonna. Anybody else has any NBA topics before I ask the last
I have
question?
a quick score update. The Philadelphia Phillies have taken the lead over the Padres 8-6. So the Phillies are right now ahead in this game. So you're a Phillies fan, be excited.
All right, I'm going to call this stupid early prediction. The reason why it's stupid, because the season just started. So, who do you guys got in the finals?
Wow.
Oh, we already know who you have in the finals.
Stupid early prediction. I'm going to say Miami versus Golden State because I'm a Miami fan.
See that one coming.
2 games in, 0-2. We're going to get ourselves going. You guys don't have to make a stupid early prediction, but if you guys want to.
I mean, I guess the NBA
You
is
guys
kind
just
of
seen Max face.
the
He's like,
NBA.
what the hell?
The NBA is kind of like a repeat league. Like if you're the winner, usually you go back. So I would put in the Golden State Warriors, and you know what? Just for shits and giggles, I'll put in the Nets. Why not? Who
Nice.
cares? It's the
Yes, I
NBA
like it.
season, you know.
It is a stupid early prediction. I love it. Jeff, do you want to make a stupid early prediction?
Nets versus Nuggets. I like that
Nets
Nuggets.
versus
I think the
Nuggets.
Nuggets
I
could be a
like
sleeper
it.
in
The
the
Nets
West.
versus Nuggets. Yeah, they're pretty good, man. Their
I
center
like it.
is
Got
going to be an
Jamal
all
Murray
star.
back too. That's a big addition for that team.
What is the Alabama mascot doing right now?
First week into the
Wow.
NBA season, we're giving playoff
Wow.
predictions. Alrighty, guys.
Wow.
That being said, Mac, did you want to make a prediction?
I mean,
Stupid early prediction.
if we're making stupid early predictions,
Yes.
well, then hell, let's go. Fuck it. Let's see how stupid MacDaGiantsFan fan can get. We'll go to Philadelphia 76ers versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Let's go.
I like it. I like it. Awesome, guys. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot of great NFL topics coming. Adam?
Never mind.
Alrighty. That being said, let's move on to WWE, guys. I know all of you guys, and excluding myself, has been watching. Anything going on recently that we should talk about in the WWE?
Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt.
Let's
Bray
talk about it. What's going on?
Bray Wyatt. That's what everybody's talking about.
Did he come back?
Oh, he's back.
He's
And
back.
If you didn't hear him, he said Bray Wyatt, the eater of all worlds.
Yes.
I love it.
He's
And he
got
looks
the
like he's bringing some
whole
friends with
world.
him. In
In
his
his hands, he's got the
got
whole world. Oh man, what an epic comeback that was. My God, they planned it out. This is the best writing I've seen them do for a comeback, and I don't know when. And usually, you know, when you know somebody, I mean, social media kind of ruins it now because you kind of get the surprise already. But in the 90s, in the mid 2000s, you couldn't do that. You didn't have as much media out there, so the surprise would hit you. But this one, even though we knew it was coming, still epic, still nailed it. Probably one of the best returns I've seen in a long time, probably the last decade that I can remember. The pop that he got at Extreme Rules, literally
Even bigger than Edge's.
insane.
Yes.
Insane.
it was like they were like, holy shit. He came out and said, I'm back, and the place erupted. I was like, wow. I didn't think it could get a higher decibel than they were already at. They blew the roof off the place.
It was incredible. The entire moment was absolutely out of this world, and WWE did a fantastic job presenting Bray Wyatt's return, and including the character that they're now introducing along with Bray Wyatt, this Uncle Howdy character. It's like really making it more intriguing. And beware, the Wyatt 6 is coming. Bray Wyatt's new faction is on the way.
That promo he cut on SmackDown a week ago, man, when it was just so genuine, like it was like so real and raw. It was just. Yo, this Bray Wyatt he's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the whole WWE universe in his hands.
But then he cuts it off, Mac. But then he cuts it off with his gimmick, right? So like you're seeing him give his heartfelt speech about basically talking to, I guess, whoever this masked guy is, right? Because that's who I think he's talking to. But all of a sudden, in the middle of his heartfelt speech, the lights go out, and this random it's just been amazing to see Bray Wyatt. Fantastic. They've given him some creative freedoms. Triple H, well done on bringing somebody back. Now, let's not spoil him. Let's give him a title. I know that, he's got to build himself up, but like the two guys that need to get those belts off of Roman Reigns, and I think they want to split the belts. I'm hearing rumors about that, where they want to take one of the belts off of at least Roman, would be Cody Rhodes and Bray Wyatt. Those are my two guys. You want to go into 2023 WrestleMania, those guys have got to come home with some gold. If they don't come home with any type of gold in the next few months, as they
I'd argue Seth Rollins should get a belt right now. Seth Rollins has been absolutely fantastic. Like the world title, how good he's been lately. Rollins is killing it right now with his promos, his in-ring work. Rollins arguably is one of the best right now in that company and in the world.
They're dogging him, though. I don't know why they're dogging him.
I just have a fast question. Is Bray Wyatt the guy with the beard that used to come out with the lantern?
Yes.
Eater
of worlds.
I like that.
Come on, man. Bray Wyatt, with that entrance alone from Bray Wyatt already puts him he was going to the Hall of Fame, but like if his character does what we think he's gonna do, hopefully, You're gonna play that comeback back years to come. You're gonna sit there with your kids or whomever. A friend of mine, remember when he came back 10 years ago? That's how epic that was.
It was.
It's crazy. And think about it too. Next month we're getting War Games at Survivor Series. War Mother effing Games is going to be at Survivor Series this year. And if anybody has not seen War Games, do everybody a favor. Go watch it on YouTube. Go watch it on Daily Motion. Whatever you want to check it out. It's one of the best concepts of a match put together. It's just a damn shame that William Regal can't be there to yell out War Games before it starts. Because I'm telling you,
do you think they'll have the Wyatt Six by then?
I think they're going to try to do the long game with the Wyatt Six. Maybe do one at a time in terms of introducing a member one each and every while. I wouldn't be surprised if Bo Dallas is coming back soon. Like I think Bo Dallas
he's going to be the
back
Fiend.
in WWE too. That would be incredible. And he's part of that Wyatt Six. And Liv Morgan's characters turned evil. I heard rumors that Joey Gacy.
That's what I was wondering with her. That's what I was thinking. Like with Liv Morgan,
what about
she's been acting, I'm thinking, are they building her up to maybe kind of replace Alexa Bliss?
Possibly.
Bliss's role with Bray Wyatt, man, because that's how Liv Morgan's acting. She's acting.
She's got that Harley Quinn type gimmick that she's going on.
Weird lately.
Yeah.
I mean, the weird little sadistic smiles.
It's interesting to me though. It's like Alexa Bliss. What will you do? Because technically, she was Sister Abigail. She cost Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. All this stuff. When he was the Fiend, right? She turned on him, and I think that's the last we saw of him was that match. Where she spit that black goo into his face or whatever. So I'm wondering, I'm wondering what they're gonna do if they like are gonna incorporate her, because it would be cool to see this faction. Because another faction that I don't know how to feel about, I'm trying to like it, but I'm not, is Judgment Day, and it's like I see that they're bringing in these women to these.
I love them. I love Judgment Day right now. How they're booking that group. I think Judgment Day looks better than ever, especially with Rhea Ripley. And that little dynamic she's got with Dominic Mysterio, that's compelling television with those two. It's like she's pretty much got him wrapped up all around her finger. I love that whole storyline going on with Judgment Day.
I think she needs to start to challenge for some belts, man. I mean, she's like this. She reminded me of China right now. Only difference is I think China was a little bit more physical with the men. Like she did a little bit more.
She was hurt. That's why she hasn't wrestled in a while. She had a bad injury, I believe, like concussion or something. So they kept her out of the ring just to be careful with her. But I think she's starting to wrestle a little bit more. So they're probably easing her back in the ring. But she's been fantastic. But another person that we got to praise too, I can't believe I'm saying it, Braun Strowman. Strowman's actually been pretty good. Strowman's actually not been bad. Besides the stupid dude that with Omos, he's actually been pretty good.
I didn't think he was going to be. Oh my god!
But I'm not really that interested in a Omos Braun Strowman feud, man. I'm not a fan of Omos. I think it's just I don't know. He's just a big guy that he doesn't move well. It just doesn't work for me, man. He's kind of just one of those big clunky guys. All these little weird handicap matches he has is just over that.
The problem is they already brought him out, Mac. That's the problem. We already know who he is. It's not like, you hit Omos and now he's coming in, this new wrestler. He came in, I forget who he was with prior to, he was with MVP, and he was this big clunky giant, right? So now he comes back and they were trying to rebrand him like he's Paul Heyman and this beast, and it's like, nobody believes you, bro. Like, nobody believes you. I'm sorry. I like Omos, but...
And the one thing I'm loving about WWE right now is they're starting to change up characters that have been absolutely destroyed. Take it, Max Dupree changed back to what he should have been, and that's L.A. Knight.
Can you guys explain to me who he is?
L.A. Knight is one of the he's pretty much one of the best on the mic. He's pretty damn good in the ring. He's over as hell. Mac, you know about L.A. Knight too in NXT.
I know all about L.A. Knight.
L.A. Knight is definitely great, and they finally
good to see him back. Good to see him back in the ring.
Educate me on him, Mac.
L.A. Knight, Mac. He's back. He's one of the guys. He's from back in the day in TNA and all of that stuff, but. He was Eli Drake over there, but now he's just became.
But he made a name for himself over there.
Yeah, he was an Impact as Eli Drake.
Absolute superstar.
Like, are we talking like an AJ Styles type of career?
No,
where-
not that.
Well, I
maybe
wouldn't
not
go
that
that high.
Not
No,
that high,
not that
not
high.
quite like that. But still, nonetheless, man, he was a superstar, man, over there, and he came
Sorry, I
to
don't know him
NXT,
as much.
and he had, he's had a couple good rivalries in NXT, man. LA Knight. What was that last one?
Cameron Grimes
Before he-
was great. The Cameron
Yeah,
Grimes,
him
LA
and
Knight
him and
was
Cameron
great.
Grimes. They had the whole thing going on with Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, was back in the picture for a little bit. So,
Wow,
yeah,
Ted
he's a
DiBiase.
star,
I missed
man.
Ted DiBiase.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
he's
were
a
doing a
thorough
little
dude,
program
man.
there. That was
And
great.
it's good to see him back in the ring. They've had him doing this weird modeling thing. Yeah, he hadn't even been wrestling for a while, but
So stupid.
Well, that I knew. I just didn't know his background, so because I kind of like to know a little history to kind of see, because if you know, I don't watch NXT as much as you guys do, so I just see them when they come up. I like I told you, wrestling's a lot, man. Between wrestling, that's a lot of. First off, that's a lot of shirtless men running around that I don't want to see too much. Two times a week is good enough for me, right? And
what's
then
going on,
you
Mick?
got all the other storylines. So
Miz in the house.
so it's interesting to just hear who he is, because sometimes you don't get all the NXT people
Raphael
up
in the house.
and vetted. You know what I mean?
No, it's
Yeah,
NXT's
I'm more-
been like, it's been like a little bit going through the motions right now. They changed it somewhat back to what it was before, but it's really in a rebuilding mode right now. I mean,
It's
compared
because
to the
Triple
main
H
roster,
is at
Oh,
Raw.
yeah.
That's why.
yeah, and Shawn Michaels has been running pretty much NXT lately, but I want to know what's going on with this Dexter Loomis and Miz thing too. This has been a really odd storyline going forward.
Miz is in the
It's really not going anywhere.
WWE. Our Miz is in the
No,
WWE.
yes,
No.
our Miz is in the WWE right now.
Can you
feuding with
imagine?
this dude,
The
Dexter
New
Loomis.
York Football Giants. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, with Dexter
he come
Loomis
out.
looking at
He
him
come out to the Monday Night Football theme.
Yeah. Da, da, da,
Oh, I love it.
fireworks popping off in the background, blue.
Man.
He'd have like Lawrence Taylor saying, "Go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs and have some fun."
Logan Miz's finishing move if he was going to do it. Like, what would be the Miz's
man.
finishing move?
A headbutt.
A headbutt. Yeah, a headbutt. Exactly.
Yeah, cut that shit
Awesome. Any final thoughts on the WWE before we just recap the UFC 280 that happened today? Oh,
I got nothing.
Alrighty.
Enjoy the ride. Enjoy Triple
Let's,
H's ride.
Let's move into the next topic. We got next topic right here. Where is that? That's scrolling across the bottom. We don't want that. Alrighty. So that being said, the current topic is UFC 280. Did you watch this one, Mac?
I unfortunately did not.
I unfortunately did not either, but that's okay. We're just going to review it. For the main event, we got I'm not even going to try it. We got Islam beating Charles Oliveira by submission in round 2 at 3:16. Shout out to Islam. Shout out to the whole Russian team, the Russian army. Khabib's boys are doing it big. We got a new lightweight champion of the world in Islam Makhachev. Bantamweight, actually, hold up. Mac, do you want to give your opinions on the main event?
I mean, I didn't see it, unfortunately, so I don't have.
That's true, yeah. So we'll just get sorry about that. That was a stupid question. That being said, we got Aljamain Sterling, getting a knockout over TJ Dillashaw. That knockout happened in round 2 at 3:44, guys. And then we had Sean O'Malley fighting Peter Yan to a decision. That went the whole distance. That went to a decision. Obviously, I just said it. We're just going to give you a quick highlights on the main 3 fights that happened. I know a lot of great fighters. We'll be here all night trying to break it down. But since both of us, the resident UFC fans, didn't watch it, we're just going to move right over it, and we're going to get everybody else in the conversation. So that being said, there's a big trade that happened, guys. We had CMC go to the 49ers. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
Well, my thoughts on that is, wow, 49ers, man. They just know how to stay relevant, no matter what, man. And that's a big move, man, because we're already with Deebo Samuel over there creating the havoc that he does, man, and now you're going to add CMC to that backfield. Whew. It's going to be wicked over there, man, in San Fran. It's the things that they're going to be able to do, man, with CMC's ability, man, the fact that he gets to play for an actual winning team, a team that has a legitimate chance to make something happen, man. I'm excited to see CMC over here. I mean, everybody was talking about maybe Buffalo should have took a shot at trying to acquire him. Who knows what happened in negotiations if Buffalo was on the mix trying to make something happen. But the 49ers is the one that came out the winners of that, man. And they have acquired a stud, man. Unfortunately, we don't know what this is going to mean for their young guy, Elijah Mitchell, when he comes back. But, hey, it is what it is. This is the 49ers is in it to win it, and they trying to do what they got to do right now to get it done. And that's just a big move for the 49ers, man, acquiring CMC. I'm sure he's not going to be much of a factor this week, obviously. But in the weeks to come, man, the 49ers is going to be a force to be reckoned with, that offense now.
Absolutely. Jeff or Adam, you guys got any words on CMC going to the 49ers?
Well, I'm surprised that they actually gave up that much of compensation for a guy like CMC. I mean, a second, a third, and a fourth for 2023, including a fifth in 2024.
Absolutely.
So obviously it took a lot in the compensation wise to get somebody like CMC, but they probably realized Elijah Mitchell might not be anywhere close to coming back. And they want to have a little bit of balance on that offense because even though Debo is going a lot in the backfield, he also is one of their primary wide receivers. So they probably want to have at least a steady running back so they could keep Debo maybe on the outside or in the slot a little bit more, and just be able to move Debo all around that offense, not keep him more as like a stabilized running back. Because with Mitchell not there, they've had Jeff Wilson pretty much running the football. So it's a bold trade by the 49ers because they gave up 4 draft picks. That's a lot of draft capital that the Panthers acquired. And also the fact that CMC hasn't proven in a while that he could actually remain healthy for an entire season. So that's really a bold move by them. And they're probably out looking at the NFC right now as a whole. And they're probably saying, well, you know what? The Eagles are 6-0, but they have some flaws. The Giants are 5-1, but they're probably saying we got smoke and mirrors. That's why we're doing it. And they look at the rest of the NFC, and they're probably like, it's wide open right now. So why not make a bold trade like this and try to see if they can go for it and maybe have a chance to get to the Super Bowl? So, and it's also a bold move for a guy like Kyle Shanahan and, of course, John Lynch, the GM, to see if they can actually, possibly make it to the championship, because maybe this is like they're running out of time over there in San Francisco and they got to get it done now. So it's a bold move, a lot of draft capital. They better hope that he can stay healthy, but offensively, I mean, that team is loaded right now on offense with CMC. You got Kittle, you got Samuel, you got Ayuk. It's just Jimmy G has to make sure he doesn't turn the ball over, and he's just got to play smart, football out there and not just turn that football over.
Welcome sports, Adam.
Yeah, it's a great move. It's interesting to see because it shows that Carolina is gearing up for a trade to possibly get a quarterback or something, as they're having a fire sale over there, and it's good for him to get on a team where he might actually do something. Now, I don't know if I would have given up that much capital for him. Even though he is that good, to me, a lot of that in your middle rounds, you better be going for the Super Bowl, because if you're at 32 in every round, it doesn't really matter at that point because it's the last pick in every round, so you won't care. So for me, let's see what happens. This team focuses a lot, the 49ers, on a heavy run game and a heavy dose of Samuel and putting him out in screens, and this will allow him to be moved everywhere. And just because they have that running back who's injured, I'm hearing that he's going to come back at some point. Doesn't mean you can't use both backs simultaneously. Doesn't mean you can't have a personnel to throw people off when you're lining up your personnel on offense. So for me, I just look at it like the rich get richer. And like you guys said, they want to make a run. There's nobody in their division that's really running away with it, right? Nobody. The Rams are struggling. They're the top dog. I mean, Seattle is giving them a better fight than they thought. And
Kyle Murray is yelling at his coach.
Yeah.
And you have Arizona, where obviously they won with Deshaun Hopkins the other night, but this is where the 49ers can do something. And they're not thinking about
the house.
They're not thinking about the regular season. They're thinking about the playoffs and going beyond, because I think what they didn't have last year was a dynamic runner in the playoffs as someone other than Debo. So now this gives them someone other than Debo, where, you get in those tight games, Christian McCaffrey can change the defense for you, and maybe that frees up Debo Samuel.
Absolutely. I think this is a statement move by the 49ers. You got to, I question why the 49ers in the top 10, okay? Why do I question that? Because they're not beating good teams. But then when I look back at it, I'm like, God damn. half of their roster is injured, half of their starters is injured, and they're still finding a way to keep these games close. Now people are going to start getting healthier. This is a statement move. This is a playoff kind of. We see this team going forward into the playoffs kind of move. You don't make a move like this and not think about the postseason. And I just think going forward with CMC coming home, he's from the Bay Area. I believe he went to Stafford or something like that. So that being said, man, good on the 49ers for making the statement. And we're gonna get into that topic next, Namir. But that being said, Mac, do you have any thoughts on it? I think you went first, actually.
I did go first.
Yeah, you did go first. I apologize on that.
Well, I really want to know if Carolina is going to start trading any other pieces away.
I think they're having a fire sale right
now.
now. I think DJ Moore is on the trade block, and I think Brian Burns is next to be on there.
I heard they took DJ Moore off the trade table because they want to keep him as a young piece going
That's
forward.
true. So we'll see what happens.
I don't know. They're going to become one of those teams nobody wants to go to.
Yeah. That's true. We lost Adam, but don't worry, guys. He'll be back. Now, let's move into our OBJ talk. Now, we all know OBJ used to be a Giants receiver. We all know that. Could the Giants utilize OBJ? Absolutely. But will he probably come back? Probably not. But that being said, the two teams, and feel free, if the teams that I list, if you think he's going to other teams, like maybe Green Bay, you can say Green Bay. But right now, he got his friend, his home dog in Von Miller that plays for the Bills that's been talking to him weekly, trying to get him on the Bills. And then we have the Chiefs clearing up 3.455. They made that real Pacific. 3.455, restructuring Travis Kelce's contract. Now, Travis Kelce has a podcast with his brother. When he was asked about OBJ, he kind of gave a wink. So both teams are Super Bowl contenders. Both teams could use OBJ. Now, if OBJ was to go to the Bills, he'll probably be the third receiver after Davis, that's true, they've been struggling. After Davis, after Diggs. If OBJ goes to the Chiefs, he'll probably be the second receiver after Travis Kelce. So that being said, let's start with Mac. OBJ to the Bills, to the Chiefs, or to the Green Bay Packers?
The Bills to me makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. You hear that, Namir? Do you hear that?
Why would OBJ to the Bills make sense? Like, give me a break. I mean, look at the things Gabe Davis is doing. Look at the things Stephon Diggs is doing. Come on, that receiver room, that's too much. You can't spread the ball around enough to satisfy three receivers of that caliber. There's not enough spreading the ball around to satisfy three guys like that. It's just not. It is what it is. Now, to the Kansas City Chiefs, oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes, I'm sure, would absolutely welcome OBJ with open arms over there. Because let's face it, he's Patrick Mahomes, but those guys, I'm not, other than, the fact that they have Travis Kelce, who is, make a strong case, is the absolute best tight end in the league. They don't have a real true number one wide receiver. I mean, those guys, there's not that real legitimate, like, standout number one guy in the wide receiver position there. OBJ would obviously change that if he was to get on board with Kansas City. But from things that I was hearing, unless something's changed that I didn't know about, they're saying the Rams are pretty much still the front runners re-sign OBJ when he comes back ready and healthy. So we'll see what happens, man. But OBJ to the Bills makes no sense whatsoever to me. If the Bills want to upgrade somewhere on their offense, they need to get a legitimate running back in that backfield. That's why I thought they would have been went in a little harder on trying to acquire Christian McCaffrey. But at the same time, yeah, OBJ in that wide receiver room, I'm sorry. I just can't see that happen.
Absolutely. I honestly think Mac makes an excellent point. I mean, like, I know you're friends with OBJ Von Miller. I know you're trying to recruit him to the Buffalo Bills, but it makes no sense. Now, if he goes to the Chiefs, exactly what Mac said. I'm not trying to repeat. I'm just saying that'll be a good fit, Obviously, Juju, he's a pretty good receiver, but outside of that, I mean, like, they're still trying to implement Sky Moore in the offense. They're trying to implement these other receivers they got in the offense. But if you have a Travis Kelce, you have an OBJ, and you have a Juju, that is a punch. And then you have a Clyde as your running back. So that being said, that could That could happen. And there is thoughts on the Rams too of re-signing him. The one reason why I don't think the Rams will, even maybe it's just smoke screen, but the offer that they offered him, it was kind of like a slap in the face. So, but I don't know. I think he liked playing for Sean McVay, and I think that was a good fit for him. And why wouldn't you want to go back
They could
to
use
a
him too.
team? Exactly, they could use him, a team that basically helped you, not even helped you, but gave you a chance. You know what I'm saying? Um, any other suggestions on any other teams that you guys may think he might go to? Green Bay, maybe.
No, he's not good. If Green Bay keeps playing this poorly, I don't see him going over there. I mean, Green Bay, what is Green Bay right now? They look like a very pedestrian football team, and Aaron Rodgers is banged up now, so I don't see him going to Green Bay. I mean, the Rams do make sense because Allen Robinson is like their Kenny Galladay. The dude has done absolutely nothing since he signed over there. I mean, he's been absolutely invisible the entire time. I even forget that Allen Robinson is even active some of those games. You hear nothing from him. It's just Cooper Kupp, and then that's it because of the fact that also Van Jefferson has been banged up for the beginning of the season too. So, I mean, you're looking at some of the teams that are winning right now. I mean, Minnesota, I don't think so. They already got a good solid group of wide receivers. I mean, San Francisco doesn't need them. Seattle doesn't need them. Philadelphia doesn't need them. They have enough receivers. We'd love to have them, but we don't have the cap space right now. So then you look at teams in the AFC. I mean, what teams in the AFC could be a good fit for OBJ? Not the Jets. Jets already loaded at that position. Miami doesn't need him. If New England plays better, maybe a team like New England you got to watch out for. If that team is sneaks up on a couple of people because Belichick's got that roster playing pretty decent, and there have been rumors in the past about OBJ to the Patriots. So if the Patriots can continue to sneak up on people, that could be a team that could maybe go up there and grab a guy like OBJ.
Snag
But
'em.
right now, I'd probably say the Rams are the front
Yeah, Big
runners.
Pat.
But if anything, what's going on, Pat? I'd probably say that the Rams are the front runners. The Bills make no sense. They don't need them. There we got Isaiah McKenzie too in the slot, so
They
they're
do.
loaded at that position. So it just makes no sense to have OBJ over there.
And you know what's
So
funny?
Pat,
Speaking of the Buffalo Bills, like I honestly thought that CMC was going to go there, and then he signed with the 49ers. So that was a shocker there. Alrighty. That being said, let's move into our next topic, a topic that everybody loves. Thoughts on the Giants, man, starting 5-1. And I have to say, man, I had us going 7-10, and I was absolutely wrong on that. And I was so excited. I wanted to keep my expectations really down. And then we went to London and beat Green Bay. And then we beat Baltimore. Yes, we beat two MVPs back to back. And that being said, man, this team is just fighting. These coaches are elite. Yeah, I said it. These coaches are elite. They have these
Mm-hmm.
players playing for them. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that being said, what's your guys' thoughts on the New York Football Giants starting the season 5-1? Whoever wants to go first, take the mic.
well, I don't mind if I do. Well, okay.
Absolutely.
It's just amazing, man. It's incredible to see the New York Giants winning football games at like this right now, man. The fact that here we are getting ready to start, we get our kickoff week 7, and we already got more wins than we had all of last year. It's lit. You know what I mean? And I want to take, like I said, take this week, and it's time to make an example of somebody, man. It's to make an example of the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Coming into this game, 3-point underdogs. I don't give a damn, man. I'm taking that shit personally. It's not.
Yep.
There's no reason
Underdogs against a
why
2-4
a
team.
5-1 football team, the 5-1 New York Football Giants, should not be underdogs to the 2-4 Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't give a damn if they're playing the game on the moon. It doesn't matter where they playing at. It doesn't. None of that. This to me. I want to know the science behind this. Like do
What
they
does
come
Vegas know
up
that
with
we don't,
these?
right?
Yeah, exactly. What do they? I
Well,
don't get it. I don't
I
understand
think
what they know that we don't. It's because this is crazy to me, and it's
how about
frustrating to see that we're still getting this little respect at 5-1. There's only one team in the National Football League that got a better record than the New York Football Giants. Only one. Only one team has a better record than us. So we got to go out there and take that respect back this week. Take the respect that they don't want to give us, and go out there and make an example of the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's
Absolutely.
how I feel about it, man. I'm a little bit. It just got me a little bit angry because the first time when I seen the line in this game, I thought I was not seeing it correctly until I had to look at it again and was like, oh, I had to put my glasses on and everything. Like what's going on?
Absolutely.
Well, I hear that
Yes.
they only do that favorites thing in Vegas to kind of get both
The
teams to be
Cowboys.
bought into, right?
Exactly.
So they did a 3-point spread, so it's not lopsided apparently in Vegas. Somebody said that on a podcast. Don't know how true it is. For me, I agree with you, Mac. 5-1's 5-1, 2-4 is 2-4. I don't bet. I don't do any of this gambling odds. Hell, don't ask me what the -3 and +3. I don't really give a shit. I just look at the records and say, all right, let's go. Now, what I do worry about is, if it's a trap game, I get it. But I'm with Mac. You got to go out here and really put your foot on an opponent's throat. Really, really start to make a statement in the NFC that, hey, you know what? You want to overlook us? Guess what? We're going to wreak some havoc, and we're going to beat up on these lesser teams that we should now. Remember, we're going into the season. We thought, maybe are in the same weight class. Well, guess what? You've outshot your weight class. You jumped to the next weight class. So now show us what you can do while you're in the next weight class.
I like that. Jeff, your thoughts on the Giants starting 5-1?
Oh, I mean, how could I not be happy? I mean, after the direct football we've been watching for the past decade, it's so nice to actually watch a team go out there and know how to win football games and know how to win football games in different manners. I mean, this coaching staff is absolutely incredible. From the head coach to the assistant coaches to the defensive, the offensive, the special teams coordinator, this team is just so incredibly well coached.
Yeah.
And I laugh every time I see them. I don't even take it personally at this point. I'm used to everybody picking against us. I laugh at it because let everybody continue to go against us. Let everybody continue to doubt us. Let everybody say that we're just a mirage. We're 5-1. We got lucky, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll just go out there and continue to do what we do, and that's stack W's. So, I mean, I don't mind at all in terms of that Jacksonville's picked ahead of us. I'm enjoying this team being the underdog every single week because the fact of the matter is it's just another week that we get to prove to the doubters out there that we're actually a pretty good team, and we're just a team that knows how to win football games, and we're a team that's incredibly resilient. And that's the key word that should be described about the 2022 New York Giants is resiliency. Because anytime you knock us down, anytime you think you're going to bury us in any game, what do? We pop back up. And any little slither of a mistake that you make against us, like Lamar Jackson did this past weekend, we're going to capitalize and we're going to make you pay for it. And that's been the code word for the New York Giants this entire season. Coaching, Saquon Barkley, revenge tour. Daniel Jones has played mistake-free, good, solid football. This defense has been, oh my God, has this defense played great. I mean, this team is just a team that any fan base will get behind. And how the hell can we not be excited right now? Like Mac and Adam both says, 5-1. We're one game behind the best team in the NFL right now, and I love the fact we're not getting any respect because it's just going to make us even more fired up. It's going to make us even more hungry. It's going to make us even more determined to go out there and prove all the doubters wrong that we are one of the best teams in the NFL, and we're the best coached team in the NFL.
Absolutely. And you know what makes this week so exciting? Not only are we underdogs going into Jacksonville, I think we're going to go down to Duval country and mess them up. But all the teams that's tied with us are ahead of us. Eagles, Buffalo, Minnesota, all on buys. So that being said, we have a chance to go 6-1. Let's go New York Giants. Now, I know Adam just said, you don't really bet, but it's okay. We're going to have this segment anyway. We're going to call this segment Pick 'em Parlays. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask the question to Jeff, and then I'm going to ask the question to Adam, and then Mac, and we're going to rotate it. So the question is going to be, I'm going to give two teams to Jeff, and I'm going to give the spread. You have to either say you're going to cover the spread, you're going to take the team to cover the spread, or you're going to take the team to not cover the spread, okay? So, Jeff, this is your teams. Cleveland versus Baltimore. Baltimore minus 6.5. Does Baltimore cover the spread? Or does Cleveland find a way to win this game?
Oh no, Baltimore's covering the spread, especially after what happened this last game against the New York Giants. You don't think that team is going to be pissed off and wanting to pretty much get revenge against Cleveland, one of the divisional rivals? I think they're definitely going to cover the spread on this one. I expect Baltimore to come out and they're going to just like throw out a huge game plan against that Cleveland Browns team. That I mean, they're all discombobulated right now, so I think Baltimore's going to wreck them. I really do. So yeah, absolutely, they're covering the spread on this one.
Absolutely.
What's going on, Joe?
Baltimore.
Hey, Joel, what's going on, bro?
Alrighty, I'm gonna give Adam this one. Adam, Tampa Bay is giving 13 points to Carolina. Does Tampa Bay cover that 13 points?
Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah, Carolina's dog shit. Alrighty. Next one, Atlanta versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati is minus 6.5. Does Cincinnati cover the spread, Mac?
Cincinnati does not cover the spread,
Ooh,
but I think Cincinnati wins the football game, but they do not cover the spread.
They do not cover the spread. Oh, wait, back to you, Jeffs. Actually, I'm going to get involved too. I got Detroit Lions versus Dallas Cowboys. Dallas minus 6.5. I'll take Detroit plus 6.5. I think this is the first game that Dak Prescott is going to be back. I think Detroit is recognized and they fix some of the things coming off of the bye week. I see an upset here. I see Detroit going into AT&T Stadium. Yeah, you heard it here first. And I see Detroit winning this game by a field goal. So give me Detroit plus 6.5. Alrighty, Jeff, congratulations. You got the New York Giants getting a plus 3. A 5-1 team. We just got done talking about +3 going to Duval Country. Who do you got here?
Of course, I got the Giants. We're going to kick the living crap out of that team. You kidding me? We're going to destroy them. They have no idea what's going to be coming for them. Saquon Barkley is going to be running up and down on that damn football team the entire game. Daniel Jones is going to be running all over that team as well. Kayvon Thibodeau, Leonard Williams, and oh yeah, that beast in the middle of the defense, Sexy Dexty Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence is going to be a beast as well. And Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker, say hello to Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal because they're going to be stymieing you that entire game. So yeah, we're going to beat their ass. Absolutely.
All right, Adam, you got the Colts. Now the Titans are only giving plus 2.5 points to the Colts. I'm sorry. Does the Titans cover the spread?
I think so. Because it's a division game. It's at home. Both teams are not that great. That's why they gave a 2.5 instead of the full 3 because they know they're probably evenly matched. But I think the Titans are going to cover the spread.
I love it. Alrighty, let's go down to Mac. Mac, we got Green Bay coming off 2 losses now, going into Washington Commanders FedEx Field. I think they still call that. They're giving Washington plus 4.5 at home. Who do you got in this one?
I got the Green Bay Packers. I can't imagine Aaron Rodgers losing 3 in a row. Absolutely. Especially at the expense of the Washington Commanders. I just can't imagine that. Led by Taylor Heineke, by the way. I mean, that might give this team a boost, or it might just make this team even that much worse. We're going to find out on Sunday, but this is kind of almost close to a do-or-die game for the Washington Commanders, the way the rest of this division is going. So, but I still can't see them getting it done. I cannot see Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers losing 3 games in a row. I had to see it to believe it, so I just think Green Bay rolls.
Alrighty, you got Green Bay covering that spread, and I'm going to have to agree with you. Green Bay is going to demolish the Commanders. Alrighty, I'm going to take the Jets over Broncos. Now, they're giving the Broncos plus 1.5. I can see the final score being like 33-3. So that being said, give me the Jets going a mile high and messing up the Broncos. So I'm going to take the Jets here. I'll take the minus 1.5 at the Jets. That being said, moving on to the next team, actually flying past pretty fast, so this is good. So Jeff, you got Houston going to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Now Houston's going to get a plus 5. The Raiders are minus 7. Does the Raiders cover the spread?
Oh man, this is a tough one because Waller's out. I think Renfro is like a game time decision, so that's 2 of their big weapons that are out, and who knows? I mean, this team is just like the rest of that division. This team is such an enigma right now. So, oh man, this is a tough one. I'm actually going to say they're not going to cover the spread. I think Houston is going to win this game. I like Houston.
Yeah.
I think they got a really good defense. And I think Houston is going to surprise this really just erratic Las Vegas Raiders team right now, especially with the fact they're going to be missing a couple of their primary weapons. So, yeah, I'm going to say they're not going to cover the spread.
I like it. Adam, you got the Seahawks versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Los Angeles Chargers is -5. Do they cover the spread?
Yes, I think they'll do it. I think they're a good team. I think this is a little above the weight class for Seattle. I think Seattle is good, but LA is on a mission, and you got to win games like this. They want to stay in pace to make the playoffs. So,
absolutely. KC versus San Francisco. Now this is a strange one. We got San Francisco +1. Does the Chiefs cover the spread here?
Nah, I think they don't. I think San Francisco wins this game outright. I think one of the best ways to counter the Chiefs' offensive attack is just to keep them off the field, and the San Fran is built to do that. That running game is strong. It'll probably be a lot more Jeff Wilson this week for one last week until they get Christian McCaffrey acclimated. But and it's like I said, the presence of Deebo Samuel, what he adds to the run game as well. I just think San Fran is the kind of team that has that makeup to just to beat the Chiefs, man, by just by keeping that offense off the field with long clock controlling drives. So I like the 49ers to win this game outright.
Absolutely.
CMC is going to play. CMC will play in this game, but I don't know how much.
Middle finger to the Niners, says Miz. Alrighty, we got Pitt versus Miami. Pittsburgh is gonna give Miami Miami's giving Pittsburgh +7.5, and that's a tricky one because I hate when they cut that touchdown. But you know what? Miami been struggling lately, but I think Tua's back. Tua's clear to play. Hopefully they take care of him. Come on, Miami, you gotta take care of your players. That being said, I'm gonna take Miami. I say Miami wins by 10. I know Pittsburgh just beat Tampa Bay, but that being said, man, I think Miami's a way more faster team than Tampa Bay. And I think the receivers, we got Tyreek Hill as the #1 receiver in the league right now. I'm talking about yards. And then we got Jay Waddle at 5. So I think the speed of Miami's offense is going to overwhelm Pittsburgh's defense. So I'm going to say Miami's going to cover that 7.5. And then the last game of the week, we'll give it to Jeff. We got oh my God, these Monday and these Thursday night games are just hideous. But anyway, we got the Chicago Bears taking on New England Patriots. Zappy in the New England Hall of Fame. Zappy -7.5. Does New England cover the spread?
Can I say it's a push?
You can say
Can
it's a push.
Can I call it a push?
Absolutely.
No, I think New England's going to win this game. Chicago, they have a decent defense, but you know what? Zappy's played pretty well so far. He's played pretty decent the past couple of weeks. So
he's in the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Maybe it's time to start believing in the Zappy. I mean, the dude is not playing not bad. So I'm going to take the Pats in this one.
Absolutely. He's going to take the Packs. Alrighty, guys. Our next topic is going to be, should the Giants trade for a wide receiver? Now, we got DJ Moore out there. We got Chase Claypool out there. There's words on Elijah Moore wants to leave the Jets. Now, me personally, if the cap room is right, we need to get Daniel Jones a stud. None of our receivers have over 200 yards this season.
Dash.
All of our receivers is hurt. And if we're going to do anything in the tournament, we're going to need a receiver. I wouldn't mind getting a Chase Claypool. It's just that I don't want to give too much up for him. That being said, should the Giants trade for a wide receiver? Whoever wants to take it first, go right ahead.
Why? We have the immortal, we have a little Hammy, and we got the stiff that are over there that could be coming back. I mean, come on. They're going to save the day, right, guys?
I mean, I don't. If it's like a fourth round pick or something like that, fine by me. I don't want to give up a third because I still think they're in rebuilding mode. I still think that's the way they want to go. So if you're going to do that, you want to build through the draft. You don't want to overpay somebody. Now, a guy like that I'd be looking at is Jared Judy. I hear is there. I wouldn't mind him, but I'm not. Again, I wouldn't pluck him for more than a fourth. And the guy down in New Orleans. Callaway, that's a guy that intrigues me. I feel like he could be had for maybe a second day pick or third day pick because he's not doing much in New Orleans right now, and he fits exactly what they're looking for. 6'2", 208, 210 pounds, can get some separation and get downfield. So, stud, I don't know if it'll be a stud guy. I think they might bring in somebody that's competent, that's played, that might be on a rookie deal that they want to bring in here because, again, big money players mean big money deals, means takes up your cap next year, especially if you're trying to sign some guys next year. So if they do make a trade, I personally wouldn't want to give up more than a fourth-round pick for a couple of the guys I named, and, nothing more than a fourth probably.
Nothing more than a fourth.
Well, go ahead, Jeff. You take it away, bro.
I mean, I'm just going to be honest, and I mean, this might get hate. I don't think we're trading for a wide receiver. I really believe that it's going to be. They're going to wait for Galladay and Tony to get back, and then they're going to rotate all these guys, and they're going to go with what they got. I think they're going to want to see what Wandale can do. Darius Slayton, this Marcus Johnson kid hasn't been terrible, and then obviously we still got Galladay and Tony on the team. They're going to play in this rotation when they get back, so. I really don't think we're going to get rid of any assets. No, we're not going to get rid of any draft picks because we're going to probably need as many draft picks going into this draft to be able to get our own guys. So I really believe that we're going to be, as much as people might hate it, Galladay and Tony are going to be coming back eventually, and they're going to be on that football field. So just be prepared. 19 and 89 are going to be on the way, and they're going to try to help this team. So sorry, we're not going to be trading for a wide receiver.
1,000% agree with you, Jeff. I think that we're just gonna keep doing what we've been doing. We're gonna keep just bringing in guys like Marcus Johnson and guys like of that type of nature. We're just gonna keep rotating guys like that in that come in, want to buy in and be a part of what's going on with the New York Giants this season. We just right now, like we said, we're part of this big rebuild right now. We're not where we want to be. We got a lot of work to do with this roster, and we can't be giving up too much capital and getting right now at this stage. Right now, we're winning football games with what we're doing with the formula we're putting out there. So we're just gonna keep. I feel like doing that. Ain't looking to bring in no big name, not this year. You know what I mean? We got too much money tied up in the wide receivers as it is because of you know who. So it's
robbing the bank.
It's just at this point, man, we can't afford to go out there.
Catch us 22 yards.
No type of splash move. So
Hopkins has more receptions than him and 21.
All these little young guys like nobody knew a couple weeks ago. We're just gonna keep rotating these guys in, and they're gonna keep making plays, and we're gonna keep winning football games because that's how we doing it in New York City now. You know what I mean? That's how we doing it.
You know how frustrating. Like you know how frustrating it is.
The New York Football Giants. Go right ahead.
You know how frustrating it is that DeAndre Hopkins played in one friggin' football game, and he has more yardage by far than Kenny Galladay and Kadarius Toney. Do you know how goddamn frustrating that is? That those two guys cannot get on the field and actually do something. That's our number one pick last year, and they still don't. Neither of them have a touchdown. Everybody else scoring touchdowns all over the place, but nope. Not our $72 million guy. Not our first-round pick last year. Nope.
Wandale has more touchdowns than Galladay and Toney put together.
Bellinger's got 2. Myrick's got 1. Andrew Thomas got 1, but nope.
19 in 2 seasons, mind you. In 2 seasons. Yeah. Wandale Robinson has more touchdowns than Kenny Galladay and Kadarius Toney in 2 seasons. Those 2 guys were on the field last year, and they haven't been on the field this year, and he still has more. That's how sad the state of affairs is.
Absolutely. And Randy, I know we were supposed to have you on the show today for the premium takes UFC call-in, but I totally forgot that the fight started earlier. So let's have Randy have a special guest on next episode. You guys can catch Randy Nightshaft from the Hardcore Sports from the Hardcore Sports Network. That being said, any final topics on this topic before we move on?
No, I just have to say it that as much as we might not love it, like I said, Kadarius Toney and Kenny Galladay will eventually get back on the football field. So we have to pray that they can give us something at the end of the season. Just something. Something, please. Absolutely. Just give us something.
Just give us
how about give us their jersey back?
Yeah, we wish. Galladay should give away his contract to all the fans that have been pretty much, watching his painful performance either on the sideline or we're not getting Chris Godwin. Stop it, almighty. We're not getting Chris Godwin. You say that every stream. We are not getting Chris Godwin. Okay.
Oh man, that's awesome. Absolutely, Randy. Let's get it. Make sure you guys go check out the Hardcore Sports Network. That being said, current topic, thoughts on the Giants coaching staff, elite. If the season was to end it today, thank God it doesn't end today. We don't want to go without football. But if the season was to end today, I have to say Brian Dable, coach of the year. I think this coaching staff is elite. They're doing good things. I mean, like, we're not going for a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 9. This is just great football. These players are playing for the
You mean
coaches.
they play to win?
Finding a way to win games, absolutely. And one thing I did like is watching the Coach Dayball show, right? And it gave me goosebumps where Dable's all like talking to Kayvon, and he's all like, 5 weeks in, you don't have a sack. What do you do? And then sure enough, 5 weeks in, Kayvon didn't have a sack. And look what happens. He keeps on going. The reason, like he said in his answer, the reason why the windshield is big and the rear view mirror is small, because you leave it in the past. And that's exactly what Kayvon is doing. We all knew that these rookies are going to take time to accolade. We all knew that this team is going to take time to accolade. If you was to tell me that the Giants will be 5-1, I would lose my mind. I'll be like, no, you're tripping. You're clearly smoking drugs. But we are. And we are slowly because of this coaching staff. So I absolutely love this coaching staff. It makes me just think of the days when we have Tom Coughlin, early on, Tom Coughlin, and just all these other great coaches that the Giants had over the years. Maybe was plagued with 3 negative coaches that didn't do shit for the organization. But now we're blessed. We're blessed with a Brian Dable, and I hope, and I really think that Rick Mortendale wants to build something here. So I really think he is going to become an NFL coach soon, but I think he might stick around maybe next season. He might get some interviews, obviously, but I think hopefully Rick Mortendale stays on. I know Matt Calfa is doing a really good job at calling the plays, and these players are just executing. They make mistakes, but guess what? They fix it. And that's solely because of this coaching staff led by Brian Dable. And it's absolutely amazing to watch. This is what football is supposed to be in New York. New York is a 5-star organization, and it's been a shit show for years, over a decade. And now we're finally back where we need to be. New York football, New York Giants football. What's your guys' thoughts on the coaching staff?
Well, Brian Dable to me has done a phenomenal job at I hate to use this word, at building a culture here that hasn't
These
been
are culture
built.
wins that we're winning, absolutely.
Right. The thing is that he's getting in tune with his players. He understands how to press their buttons, and right now he's working magic right now. Now, eventually, the NFL will probably catch up as they get more tape on what we do, and eventually you'll see some ups and downs as every coach has. But right now, he's doing a fantastic job, and I love what he does. I love Wink Martindale, because he doesn't just look at what the last 2 defensive coordinators did and say, here's my system, you play in it. They're like, well, since Fabian Monroe can't cover anybody, I'm not going to put him on an island every time. I'm going to work to his strengths. I'm going to shift linebackers. I'm going to put Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, and Kayvon Thibodeau lined up in a line running at the offensive line, different formations, things like that. It's been fun to watch defensively. Have an attitude. Last year it was kind of like blasé, like, oh yeah, we like the defense, but they're not really that tough. And Patrick Graham plays the same defense all game long, which guess what? He's playing that in Raiderland and ain't working over there. So it goes to show what coaching can do. And then we talk about the offensive line. Like, look at that guy, right? He doesn't have a great offensive line. I mean, John Feliciano, let's be honest, is not really a good center. I mean, I'm trying to be nice. But he's not a good center. But this team is given an effort. They look competent, and that's what we all wanted, right? Mac and I spoke about this earlier on in the year. We want our team to look competent, know how to run an offense, and these guys do. And the best thing that they do is they don't make the critical error like they used to make, where the Giants almost play near perfect, which is hard to do, but they make minimum mistakes in the game. They kind of just wait for you to make a mistake. And like Jeff said, then they capitalize. Like last week against the Ravens, we had no business winning that football game. But we won it because we stayed in it. We played our keys. We did what we needed to do to stay within striking distance of the football game. And when they gave up the opportunities, we punched it in. Lamar Jackson threw us the game. Gary Brightwell, put us on the 50-yard line. So those are things that are good to see when you win football games going forward.
Absolutely, man. You guys have said. I mean, you said everything already. I mean, it's just fascinating what we're doing. Like I say, you look down. I keep reiterating this with this roster, man. You look down this roster on paper, it's just not very impressive, man. It's definitely the bottom half of this league, but this team is just playing up, well, playing above the numbers, man. And they just keep finding ways to get it done. Gritty, man. Real gritty, man. Just I have a lot of superstars out there other than number 26. I mean, I mean, we got a couple up and comers, but the only legitimate superstar we got out there is number 26. I would, and it's just this team is finding
Yeah.
ways to just keep keep doing it, man. The offensive line slowly getting better and better each and every week. I mean, Andrew Thomas already is that stud level. I mean, look at what Dexter Lawrence is doing.
I'm so happy for
over
Andrew
there on
Thomas.
defense.
I love Andrew Thomas. I
It's
love
just
AT.
it's just amazing. And then to get Leo Williams gets his legs back under him, man. Oh man, the middle of this defense can be downright scary, man. And then we got the bad news with Azeez Ojulari. He's going to be out for at least a minimum of 4 games.
Oh my God, unfortunate.
But
Yeah.
Kayvon Thibodeau's coming on as well. And like I said, like we've been saying, O'Shane Zimenez and
He might be
He's out.
out.
He's out now too.
and Jahad Ward. Oh, I didn't even realize O'Shane.
Yeah, Zimenez got a
Either
quad
way.
injury. He's out this week too.
But Jahad Ward, the things these guys have been doing, man, and as part of the rotation. Quincy Roche signed back up to the active roster.
Can we
Mo Fox.
go down a road real quick? And that's the O'Shane Zimenez road. I want to give props to him for really proving a lot of us wrong.
Disrespect to him.
I had him dead to rights on being off the team, and it goes to show what a little coaching and a little belief can do. Because this team came in and they looked at him and said, "Listen, we don't have that much depth. You're on your last year of your contract. Why not? Let's see what you can do." And they put him out there. Every preseason game he was getting more snaps. We're like, no, he's not going to be here. All of a sudden through cuts he's here, and then not only that, he's making some impact plays. And good for him. I think he's leading the team or tied with the team lead in sacks, which if you had told me that O'Shane Zimenez was going to be in the team lead in sacks, I would have been like, what are you smoking? What is going on here? O'Shane Zimenez, guy couldn't get off the milk box last year, and now all of a sudden he's going to be a star. So big ups to him. This is what I mean by a difference in culture, right? You had the coaching staff that was here last year that basically put him in the doghouse for a couple of the boneheaded things he did. Now, granted, he did some boneheaded things, some personal fouls and things of that nature, and he had a shoulder injury he was coming off of. They put him in the doghouse. This coaching staff comes in here, has no affiliation to him, gives a little spice on him, and says, "Here you go, boom!" And all of a sudden now he's playing admirable football. Like that's why when I was so angry about last year, it was just for me like I didn't understand why these guys who could come in and just play football and get better product out of them. Like look at Jalen Smith. I mean, obviously Austin Carlito was garbage, but they played for him. Then they find Jalen Smith, and now he's playing well.
Look at Julian Love.
Oh my God!
Love's been incredible back
Sign
there.
that man. Sign him.
Julian Love has been so good this year.
Another guy needs to get some props, man. Fabian Moreau, that guy back there is just.
I think he's sixth in the league right now in coverage.
Just balling.
Amazing.
6th in the league in coverage for a guy we picked up off the scraps. That says something about the coaching and how good this coaching
exactly.
is.
Next man up when it comes to receivers.
Exactly.
Next man up mentality.
And it really is not even, but it's more than that. It's more than that. It's basically what they told them to do. And I hate to use this Bill Belichick way of thinking, but it's do your job. And they believe that the guy in front of them and next to them is going to do their job. They don't have anything to worry about. So it lets you play fast. Last year, they played a lot of hero ball. They tried to cover up for the mistakes. So you left the big gashes and big plays, right? So now you have guys who stay within their assignment and are assignment sound, and that's what happens. It's like a basketball team. When they don't have great superstars on there, but they play fundamental basketball, they can beat anybody. What talent obviously trumps that because if you have a good team plus talent, sometimes beats a team that It's a bunch of averages that plays well. But here you are with the Giants where they don't make mistakes defensively. How many times have we sat in this season looking at guys pointing at each other for, missed coverages? We have not seen that once,
Yeah, not at all.
And the pass rush, while it's not doing the sack thing that we wanted to do, it is putting quarterbacks under siege. Dexter Lawrence is having the best season he's had as a pro, and it's because he's playing a position.
Right now, he's the best DT in the league. Right now, I'm not saying Aaron Donald's still the best, but he has better stats this season. Don't get on me on Twitter. Like, obviously, it's Aaron Donald, but this season, Sexy Dexy, man, Sexy Dexy. This
I'll not call a grown man Sexy Dexy.
Andrew Thomas, let's go.
Look at Ben Bredesen. Ben Bredesen has played really well lately, and this is a dude that we didn't even think. A lot of people didn't think he was going to even make the team. Now he's playing really well at that left guard position next to Thomas.
Winning is contagious.
Exactly.
And everybody gets on board.
That.
You start winning, everybody starts buying in, and it's that snowball effect, man. And you're just gonna keep it going, man. This team.
If Kadarius Toney and Kenny Galladay can play well when they get back, then winning is contagious in this coaching staff.
The thing is that this is what we're talking about here, right? Now these guys are trying to build a foundation. Remember, 25 guys come off this roster. I told this to Mac this year. I mean, you have to sign a lot of players. So you get some foundational guys in here like a Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas to start to buy in the big heavy hitters. Well, the young guys that come beneath them and are starting to come up will have a baseline where they need to reach every year. Because right now, this is the baseline they're setting. Next year, no matter what happens, you need to be able to come in and say, this is what we do. Win, lose, or draw, we play our keys. Win, lose, or draw, we do this. And if you build that, no matter who comes in behind you, you'll always have that mentality. Think about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Think about the Patriots, the Kansas City Chiefs. They lose guys every year. Every year they lose some type of injury. Some type of guy gets nicked up. The guy behind them comes in and plays just as well. And you're like, right. And you're like, what the hell happened? Meanwhile, the Giants, for years, guys couldn't get their own shoes tied together, right? So here we are, like they have shoes, no laces, socks, no cleats. It was like, what are you doing? It was a calamity of errors, almost like the replacements out there sometimes. You're like, what are you guys doing? Can't even field a football team. This coaching staff comes in with arguably the same roster, not too much difference, right? Not too many. I mean, they lost Blake Martinez, right? They lost James Bradbury, okay? And they're playing with guys who are lesser talent than they are, yet they're doing better. Why is that? It's because these coaches aren't dumb. Joe Judge was dumb. He's like, well, you know what? I'm from Belichickian area, and you're going to do it this way. It's my way or the highway.
Go run some laps.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and so what I'm saying is Brian Dable comes in here, and he's like, all right, well, listen, you do this well, you do that well. Let's do those two things. Let's scrap all the other bullshit that we can't do. All the, look at their offense. Their offense is simple. It's simple yet sophisticated. What I mean by that is they're not doing anything that's out of the ordinary. They're running some bootlegs, some waggles, getting their quarterback, make some nice easy reads, running downhill for Saquon Barkley where they didn't have to do too much, where he didn't have to cut back if he doesn't want to. You know what I mean? Simple shit. The routes are simple concepts. Occasional rub here. They don't do the rub routes anymore because they get called for pass interference, and they're probably going to be a marked team now, so they're probably going to do less of those rub routes. But the things are simple. Last year's offense was so simple, it was boring. They did 10-yard hitch routes or whatever it was, and they still couldn't execute.
3-yard curl route, 3-yard curl route, and there you go.
This one is
Bill Belichick took the play calling duties back, and look at the Patriots now.
Exactly, because Joe Judge and Matt Patricia have both their thumbs up their asses, not knowing what the hell they're doing. And we had Joe Judge, who, and here's the thing. We want to talk about Joe Judge. He fires Jason Garrett, and then all of a sudden a calamity of error happens even more. Freddie Kitchens, that hillbilly ass, doesn't know how to run a damn fucking play to save his life. And you're like, whoa, you fired Jason Garrett. Well, shouldn't it be better? Oh, no, it's worse. It's worse. Okay, so Joe Judge was in over his head. He was one of those hires that we all liked because it was outside the box thinking. But John Mara was like, "Yeah, we like this guy. We had no idea this guy wasn't even on anybody's radar. He was a fly in the ointment. He should have went to whatever, should have went to some stupid college that he was going to. Whatever college he was going down to, should have let him be the coach there. He comes in here like, I'm a teacher. Blah blah blah. Shut the hell up. Okay, shut the hell up. Oh, well, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do what the Eagles did. A year later, you did exactly what the Eagles did.
Yeah.
You're a damn hypocrite. This guy comes in.
Back up your words.
This guy comes in, Brian Dable, and he's just, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Hey, this works. Hey, that doesn't work. It's just having fun. Now, if they start to lose, the ping pong tables will go. The button-upness will happen. The dancing in the locker room will stop. I do believe that. Right now, you're having fun. These kids are young. Let them be a little loose because last atmosphere, guess what? They were uptight. Why? Because their coach was a clown.
And this coaching staff is accountable. So when you make a mistake, they are not just loose, but they're making sure you are accountable for your mistakes and that you correct them. So they're not just going to be all uptight in one way, and they're not going to be all loosey-goosey the other way. They're right in the middle where you need to be as a coaching staff, where if you mess up, and ironically, we're going to be going into the topic with DJ next, but Daniel Jones made that mistake in the end zone. Brian Dable got in his face after he threw that pick against Tennessee. And what happened? DJ hasn't made a bad throw or like a really bad throw or pick yet. Since.
Well, we'll get into him in a minute, but
Mac, any final words on this topic?
I mean, it's just fascinating what they're doing, man, and just need to keep up the good work. It's good to see have a coaching staff that actually makes adjustments that need to be made. Going to the locker room at halftime,
yes,
just come back out in the third quarter, still doing the same shit that didn't work for the first two quarters.
Oh, let's try it again.
Yeah. Maybe it'll work this time. Why not?
Well, you know what? I want to say something right there, Matt, because you brought up a good point. They go with what works. If they run to the right and Barkley gets 4 yards, they're going to keep running to the right so that team stops it. They don't make it. They don't over get cute. You know how offensive coordinator. I feel like the Packers did this. Okay, the Packers are running the football all day, right? They get the ball in the second half. They throw 3 deep passes, and they're like, oh, well, why do we punt? Well, that's why you lost the football game. You went away from what you were doing. You got cute. You're like, oh, let's try to throw against Fabian Moreau. No, this coaching staff looks at it and just takes it and says, all right, if you're not going to stop us, we're going to keep running it.
Yep, absolutely.
Alrighty, guys, that was great content right there. I love it. So our current topic is DJ, man, Daniel effing Jones. Okay, I have to be honest, guys. Right up until we beat Baltimore, I mean, like I was looking at Hayden Hooker out of Tennessee. I'm looking at Jared Hall out of BYU. I'm looking at Garrison out of Coastal Carolina. And then obviously you got your Strouds and your Bryce Youngs of the world. Man, I'm looking at all these quarterbacks like, we're getting a quarterback next. But, oh, my God, I have to say I kind of paused on that because I honestly think Daniel Jones might be around. He's playing absolutely good football. He's using his legs. He's not making mistakes. You know, he doesn't have a receiver out there, guys. Literally, doesn't have a receiver. Still goes out there and make plays. And that being said, man, Daniel Jones might be around. So that being said, let's get on that topic. Thoughts on Daniel Jones so far?
Well, look before Adam, hold on, before Adam.
Adam's gonna go unload on this one.
Look, Daniel Jones is playing good, clean football, man, and overall, and he's not costing the Giants football game. So for me right now, that's definitely good enough for me because we're winning football games with this formula. I know my boy right here, my guy, he wants to see a little more explosiveness. And sure, I think as fans we all would like to see that. But right now, if he tries to get a little too cute, a little more explosive, and starts making the big mistakes, then we'll all be, down his throat for that. So right now, what he's doing, we're winning football games with what he's doing, man. What he's what he's providing to the offense, it's not flashy by no means, but it's effective.
I guess I couldn't go a weekend without talking about this. Huh?
It is effective. Nonetheless, but just like we were talking about earlier, man, tomorrow is a day. I would love to go out there, see Daniel Jones go out there and just exploit this Jacksonville defense to the tune of like 300 plus yards and 2 to 3 touchdown passes. I would love to see that pop off. Is it really likely? Probably not. Probably not very likely based off of what we've seen from Jones this season and the way he's been playing. I mean, he's making the safe throws, the check downs. He's not really, taking that too many risks. But who knows? Maybe that can change tomorrow. Because, like I said, I want to go and punch Jacksonville in the face and make an example of them, straight up. And I would think that in order to do that, Daniel Jones would have to go out there and have a really big day. But we'll see, man. I mean, sure, when it's all said and done, we'd like to see more from Daniel Jones from a statistical standpoint. It would be nice to see him be a quarterback that consistently threw for over 200 yards and a couple touchdown passes a game. But what he's doing right now, we're winning football games, and I can't complain about that. So with the receivers he's throwing the football to.
Adam,
So
Adam, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jeff. We're gonna have Adam end this one.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to talk about. I mean, Daniel Jones, like Mac pretty much says, he's going out there and he's not making the mistakes. He's not turning the football over. He's making the throws when they are there. It's not been like, Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or explosive football on the field, but right now he's playing winning football, and that's what you expect from your quarterback right now is to go out there and play winning football. I mean, he's going out there, and when the plays are there, Daniel Jones has been making the plays. He's been playing banged up. I mean, he's hurt all over the place. I think he had a knee brace on his knee the last game. He's obviously got the bum ankle, so he's showing how tough the dude is. He's getting it done with his legs. He did have 2 touchdown passes last week against Baltimore, so he did at least had a couple there. I think they're just trying to simplify this offense right now to get the most out of Daniel Jones overall. So that's the thing. They're not trying to take too many risks because of the fact that the offensive line needs time to gel. It's starting to play a little bit better in terms of their pass blocking. The wide receiver group is still a mess. So maybe they're just going to, as the season goes along, maybe you'll start seeing the offense be a little bit more explosive in the passing game, and they'll give Daniel Jones a little bit more trust to start throwing it down the field. But the offense has been starting to open up a little bit more lately. Not as much, but at the same time, when the running game when the running game overall is working as effectively as it is, why would you go stray away from it and try to throw the ball more for the sake of just trying to open up the offense? So Daniel Jones has not played, out of this world football. He's not played incredible football, but what he's doing right now is he's playing winning football, and that's all you ask from your quarterback. It's not turning the football over. He's making the plays when they're there. He's toughing it out after taking big-time injuries that he's had. So I can't discredit Daniel Jones and the job he's playing. Of course, I'd like to see him be more explosive on offense. Of course, I'd like to see him throw for 300 yards, occasionally have 3-4 touchdown games. But right now, he's not hurting this team, and that's all you ask for your quarterback is make the plays when they're there and don't hurt the team, and that's exactly what Daniel Jones is doing. Adam?
the floor is yours.
Go ahead, Adam. Let him know.
So first and foremost, I love the New York Giants, and I'm excited that we're 5-1. And I'm excited how this team is going. However, someone told me enjoy the ride. This kid's going to be here. I ask you this question: if you're not going to pay him $100 million over a 5-year period, then he's not your guy. So just because he's here for a short amount of time doesn't mean he's the guy. It means they have no one else to play the position. So what happens is I go on podcasts and I listen because I think I'm kind of insane, right? Well, always beating a dead horse about Daniel Jones, blah, blah, blah. What's your problem, bro? He's a New York Giant quarterback, bro. You should just love him. I mean, just love the guy. He's Daniel. And I go to those people, why don't you love Kadarius Toney? He's on the team. Everybody hates him, but because he's Kadarius Toney, it's easy to hate. So I critique the quarterback, the biggest position on the field. Now, my stance was, Daniel's all right, but is this the best Daniel we've seen? No, it's just Daniel Jones. I mean, this is what we've seen. Look, you people are excited. I'm just saying, you're excited about the rookie year. The rookie year, he had 3,400 yards and 24 touchdowns. He is not even playing up to that level, and we're like, hey, man, you're not screwing up. High five. We're going to sign you to a long-term deal. And I'm like, all right, well, if this is how you want to play the quarterback position. Now, what's happening now is we're winning football games. So people can sit back and relax and be like, hey, man, sit back. We're winning, man. Don't worry about it, man. Then we meet the 49ers in the playoffs, and he throws 3 interceptions and looks like he got ran over by a car, and they're going to be like, oh, well, I didn't like Daniel Jones. I didn't say to keep him. I just said to give him a 1-year deal. That's my problem here. And Bobby Skinner said it best, right? Bobby Skinner, Talking Giant, Justin Pennick, talking Giants. I know they're not listening, but hey, you never know, right? They said Daniel Jones is playing exactly like they expected Daniel Jones to play. And I'm like, exactly. We act like, hey, bringing all these guys, and all of a sudden he's going to change. He had Golden Tate, Darius Slayton, Evan Ingram. He still was throwing for under 200 yards a game.
But you know what it is, Adam? For me, it's the mistake-free. Just a mistake-free for the weapons he has.
But okay, so the mailman delivers the mail. He doesn't drop the mail on the floor and puts it in the mailbox. Great job. High five. I mean, my God, we have such a low bar of how we play quarterback. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You know also what I think about that? Sorry to interrupt, Adam. I also think about Jimmy Garoppolo, Joe Flacco, and Jared Goff.
What have they all done?
All three of them made a Super Bowl with defense.
Okay, but they haven't been back since. Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, and he was shipped off.
Jared Goff signed a $132 million extension deal with the Lions, right? So it's kind of like
Rams. With the Rams, he won. He went to the Super Bowl. He signed the extension.
So if I think Daniel Jones, in the words of Victor Cruz, is a little bit better than a game manager right now, because of his legs and in this day and age, everybody wants your Josh Allen's. And don't get me wrong, if Hayden Hooker's on the clock, like, yo, give me some Hooker.
I'm just saying,
if Hall is on the clock, give me some Jared Hall. I mean,
listen. Let me explain to you what I mean. Okay. And a lot of people get mad at me. And I'm just having a conversation about the quarterback because I think you can upgrade everywhere. And it's a big topic. I try to not talk about it, but people pull me back in. It's like it's the gift that keeps on giving with me, right? I just keep getting this because I'm not impressed with what he's doing. I'm like, okay, fine, you're winning football games. I've seen this. You put Lamar Jackson back there. Are we having more success on offense? Are we a better team on offense?
I don't know, because I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I don't know, Adam, because I've seen Lamar Jackson overthrow so much receivers this season.
Right. But think about this. If he comes to this offense, if he comes to this offense, and the coaching staff does the same thing, are we missing out? Because if you look at the game last week, it was like a carbon copy of the Giants, right? Except the only difference was the Ravens had a more explosive quarterback, because he was doing the same thing. All of a sudden, they had him bottled up. He runs for 25 yards in a first down, flips the field. Now being inside their own red zone, now they're up at the plus 40. Right. So I'm just saying, to me, okay, if I can get a guy that can do what Daniel does at a better clip for a cheaper price, why wouldn't I do that? And people are sitting here, well, who's going to come out of the NFL draft that's as good as Daniel? Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that, because let me tell you, Daniel's in year 4. If I can get a guy who can play exactly like Daniel, who's at year 4, at year 1, then what is the problem? I mean, if I had a guy like Hayden Hooker come in here, do you think Brian Dable is going to leave that kid out there to dry? Kenny Pickett threw for 300 yards in Pittsburgh against Tennessee. I'm just saying, you can make it work. Bailey Zappi's throwing for 300 yards in New England. All I'm saying is you can bring in a quarterback here if you want to. That doesn't have to be Daniel Jones, who you don't have to pay as much money to do the same things. That's all.
You can even go into talking about. We talk on the phone about a lot about this on winning on a rookie contract. We're gonna have to pay Daniel Jones and the franchise tag. Yeah, we can franchise tag him. It's $29.95 million. We still have to play Barkley. I think Barkley deserves a bag, right? So it's kind of like, yeah, the Giants can finesse, but okay, we're gonna get Barkley, we're gonna get Jones, but then we have to get a lot of other pieces. So, and Adams, you make a great point. If Lamar Jackson wanted to come here, I'll walk Daniel Jones out of the building myself.
my point with the quarterback here is that we sat here and had stats that we all read off to say, well, this is what we're going to do to bring him back and give him a bag. All of a sudden now he's winning some games, and we're going to just throw those stats and predictions out the window because, hey, high five, guys, we're winning. Woo! No, I'm not. No. You motherfuckers can do that. I'm not forgetting what we talked about. Okay, because this is what you want. You want a guy that, because at some point that's going to catch up with you. They're going to stop the Saquon Barkley. They're going to say, listen, kid, you're going to need to throw for 300 yards, regardless if you have fucking Kenny Galladay out there or the guy at Walmart who checks your receipts. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who's out there. you're going to have to produce, and you're going to have to throw us out of this game. That's what happened with Jimmy G. That's what happened with Ryan Tannehill. That's what happened with a lot of guys. The only guy it hasn't happened to are the ones who've gone to the Super Bowl. And let's see, Nick Foles hasn't been back. Brad Johnson never went back. Trent Dilfer never went back. Let me go. Jeff Hostetler never went back. I can go down the street. Patrick Mahomes went back. Tom Brady went back. Peyton Manning has gone to back-to-back Super Bowls. Ben Roethlisberger. Is there a trend here? Are you listening to me? Are you hearing what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You can get a better quarterback and do better things and upgrade without having to worry about, well, hey, we're down 170 yards. Jeff, you can throw 170 yards in this offense. I mean, come on. We make it seem like he's doing something great. I'm not saying that any quarterback that's worth his weight in gold in the NFL, any one of these backups, I guarantee you Brian Daboll can get the same function out of him. I'm looking at it like, what do they want out of a quarterback? They want him to run. I'm sorry, I'm rambling on. They want him to run,
take it down.
right? They want him to be that dynamic runner, and they want him to be a pocket passer as well. Well, Daniel is at that borderline of both. He's average at both of those things. He's a better right now runner than he is a passer, and he's getting the job done. He's not making mistakes. Hip, hip, hooray. But he's also not, threatening, he's got 4 game-winning drives. He's got the highest EPA in the NFL. Blah, blah. Half the people didn't even know what the EPA was right now. Now Daniel Jones is the highest EPA, and everyone's slapping hands like they know what the fuck EPA is. Give me a break.
Slap hands.
A stat that no one ever talks about. All of a sudden, he's number one, and you're showboating with him. Like, come on. Like, come on, we're really stretching here. And I know people are mad at me because, you're not enjoying this, Adam. You're too busy worried about Daniel.
Mac is offended by the fact you keep talking that noise about DJ, so he's like, I'm getting the hell out of
here. He's like, I'm out of here. Mac's like, I'm out of here. No, Mac knows how I feel. He's like, screw that shit, screw you, all your bad mouthing. And that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm bad mouthing people's children. I mean, only the Joneses kid is really who I'm bad mouthing. The only people who should be mad at me are Daniel Jones' mom and dad, maybe his sister and brothers, because I'm not really saying anything like I don't agree that he's not going to be signed next year for a short-term deal. What I'm saying is I'm not giving him $100 million or plus or whatever the new quarterback market is. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing it. And if you're not going to do it, no, I'm not giving him $30 million either. I'm not giving him the bare minimum I will give him is about $20 million, but his rookie deal was 23.4. So now you're going to tell me everyone's like, oh yeah, he's going to come in and play for Mitchell Trubisky type numbers. Yeah, okay. He's going to say, well, you know what? I've taken all your shit and done all your stuff. I want my number to start at least 20. And if I'm the Giants, I'm not paying him more than 20. Say, all right, man, you got to earn your stripes. I'm not forgetting about seasons 1, 2, and 3. You know what I mean? It was like it was like Star Wars. You got episode 4. Oh, look, it's really good. And then the other 2 are like, oh, we don't really want you. And then you come back with the new, Force Awakens. Oh, everyone's reinvigorated with Star Wars.
No, that is a slap in the face on my head.
He's not going to take that deal. His agent's going to ask for more.
The average quarterback, not average, but the cream of the crops down to like the 40, the 35, and then you got your 50s, right? If you look at it, like you got Cousins making 40.
You got to kind of look at Jimmy G. What happened, right? If you look at Jimmy G, he's the prime example of what happens with a quarterback. I don't want to hear anybody saying you can't draft a quarterback. Look what they do with Jimmy G. They go in there, they go to Jimmy G, they go to the Super Bowl. The next year is injured, so they have a chance to pick a quarterback. What do? They move up and they go get one in a quarterback-rich draft, right? Then Jimmy G has an off season and basically cost them the football game in the NFC Championship game because he basically threw 2 telegraphed interceptions to the Rams defenders. And you're like, what in the hell are you doing? So then what did they do? They said to Jimmy G, since you're having surgery, we're going to cut you. Not only we're going to cut you, nobody signed him for his deal, and they didn't cut him, they kept him on, and then they restructured his deal as a backup. So now he's getting backup money. Meanwhile, again, they drafted their quarterback in here, meaning they said you're not good enough to be with us. Plus, we're going to have to pay you mad money. We're going to draft our quarterback now. Now, they're not going to be able to afford Jimmy G next year because if they go to the Super Bowl or a long run in the playoffs, he's going to be signed by some team like the Colts or some team that's in need of a quarterback, and he's going to be out of their price range. They're going to have to go with Trey Lance. And usually this is what teams have done in their window. Look at Kansas City. Look at the Bills are doing. Right? Look what a lot of these teams have done. They're trying to win now in that small window, unlike the Buccaneers and unlike the Rams, who bought their quarterbacks, who brought them in and brought them because they were one quarterback away. You don't normally do that. You try to win on a rookie deal.
Absolutely. I love that take. And Adam's right on it. And Adam is the guy that sticks by his points. And you guys may not like it, you guys may disagree, but he talks facts and you have to respect that. And this is America, this is North Korea. We all are entitled to our own opinions. Please go sub to Adam as well, guys. Great content creator. And thank you so much, Mac. I believe you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for letting me have the floor. It's not so much that I'm angry at Daniel Jones. What I'm trying to convey is we all had barometers to which he wanted to be hit, right? 3,500 yards, 28
Geno
touchdowns.
Smith is throwing over 200 yards. So I'm just
exactly. Geno effing Smith has more. I mean, he also has DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Give me a break.
I'm sorry. That makes a difference, Adam.
That does make a difference, Adam. That does make a difference.
When we're trying out Marcus Johnson, David Sills, and we're trying out Darius Slayton, who just started playing. So
yeah, and that's why.
But I'm saying in 2019 he had better talent, and look what he got him. I told this to Mac, right? Mm-hmm. So you bring in, let's say DK Metcalf, and Daniel Jones still throwing for under 200 yards a game. It's still, Tiger don't change his stripes just because you bring in somebody else. I mean, he has players.
Bridgewater would be a good bridge. If you bridge with Teddy, let's grab Caleb Williams out of SC. There's always more out of
what
NC.
He might be? He could be our version of Alex Smith, of what he was in Kansas City.
And what happened to Kansas City?
Well, they did play well, and then they ended up drafting Patrick Mahomes.
So exactly.
It could be that. It could be that Daniel Jones is our Alex Smith right now.
And I agree, Jeff. I think that's what they would do. I think first off, I'll say this. I know a lot of people don't want to believe this. It's a quarterback-rich draft coming up this year.
It is.
A lot of guys have stayed back because of the COVID year. And there's going to be a lot more players who are eligible, who are quarterbacks, which means you're going to get a guy in the second round who might be a franchise guy pushed down because there's some other guys who are coming out who normally wouldn't have come out or would have already come out had they didn't have that COVID eligible year. The next 2 years are quarterback-rich drafts coming up. So now is the chance to go get one. And Kansas City is the model I bring up all the time. They had a guy who brought them to the playoffs, who was very efficient in their offense, who did everything right, didn't make mistakes, and was just a borderline above average to very average to very good starter. And they said, we're going to get a guy unknown, unproven, not the greatest write-up in Patrick Mahomes, right? He didn't have a great write-up. Everyone's like, oh yeah, he had a great write-up. No, he didn't. People were like scattered all over the place with the guy. Guy doesn't even go top 10. He goes into the mid rounds of the thing. 12
Mitchell Trubisky got picked before him.
Right.
He got picked ahead of Watson and Mahomes.
So there you go. Therein lies what I'm talking about, right? So what happens is now Kansas City goes up and goes, and by the way, the Giants wanted to get him. McAdoo liked him. They went up and got a guy and said, listen, we will sit you for a year, which they did. They didn't cut Alex Smith that year. They signed him, or they signed him to the deal, and then they traded him next year because they knew they had Mahomes. They let him sit there. They let him learn. They gave him a couple snaps here and there. Then he got the game at the end of the year when the Chiefs had already made the playoffs, and he threw for like 200 yards, and everyone's like, oh, what's going to happen? The guy comes out next year. Andy Reid made that guy gangbusters. So what I'm saying to you is that it's not out of the realm of possibility in a quarterback-rich draft coming up to think like a guy like Anthony Richardson, slips down the draft board. I said Giants at 22, 23, and Dayball goes to Shane like, yo, dude, I can make this guy the next Josh Allen. Drop him on our laps. He can sit here while Daniel Jones, is like the maid and keeps the house clean for a little while, and then you bring in Richardson.
I want you to get into Richardson because some fans may see like, well, why are you on Richardson, Adam? He has horrible numbers. What do you look at when you look at these quarterbacks, Adam?
I'm not looking at Richardson's numbers because it's not always about the numbers. It's about some of the It's about some of the traits he brings, right? Yes. You don't watch what they're doing in numbers in college football. You watch what he can do when the ball leaves his hand, how it's coming off, the angles to which the ball is coming off his hand, the amount of running that he's doing, right? Look at what the Giants want to do with their quarterback going forward. They want to have a guy They want to have a guy who can run. Anthony Richardson, I hate to say this comparison. Anthony Richardson right now is a better version of what Tim Tebow is, and he's a better passer than Tim Tebow ever was, right? So he's raw. Tim Tebow, I know people are going to be like,
his legs are no joke. When he goes,
I guess you could say more Cam Newton, but what I'm saying is right now they're utilizing him more as a runner and a passer. He's got the arm strength to do it. He can make all the window throws. Hell, I've seen him do it. He had 300-yard games. It's not like he can't pass. It's not like Tim Tebow where he has absolutely nothing. Like Tim Tebow was playing with house money. He was a tight end playing quarterback.
He doesn't have these lines like your CJ Stroud has or your Bryce Youngs have. He doesn't have that O line like they do.
Stroud's also got elite wide receivers.
Ohio State has the best receivers in the country.
And they're in line. And you need to look at, go circle the kid from Tennessee, because that dude's balling. He's the guy. He's the guy that I would love if the Giants get round one and build on him. Like, I love Will Levis. I don't think he's going to come here. I think the Giants want him, but that's not the guy. If they want him, they'll go up and get him. They'll find a way to get him. But my point is this: the guys like that we're talking about, I want to be here to go to multiple championships, have multiple runs at it. Eli's been to 2.
We're not going to.
Brady's been to 7. Troy Aikman went to 3. Joe Montana went to 4. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Hostetler won. Nick Foles won. Joe Flacco won. Colin Kaepernick won. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I mean. I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to hurt people's feelings about Daniel Jones because
talking about that for a while. Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, I found him. A while back. I don't know. I didn't correspond
31 touchdowns and 3 interceptions last season, and look what he's doing this season.
I didn't talk with a coach, so I didn't know. I watched him on my own. I was talking to Buko actually because I was scouting quarterbacks, and I was like, dude, this kid from Tennessee. He's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, this kid is balling. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, go watch him. All of a sudden, he beats Alabama, and everyone's like on the roadmap. I'm like, yo, I told you about this kid already. So
had an amazing day today as well.
No, I'm going to give credit to Coach. Coach has been talking about Hendon Hooker for a while.
Absolutely.
So, Coach, you get the most credit when it comes about talking about this kid because you have been on the Hendon Hooker train the entire time. You've been talking about
I said.
Real fast, stop. Whatever you guys are doing, stop right now. Please come back to it. Just open up another tab. Go subscribe to Coach EDD, okay? And then come back to us, all right?
Right. I mean, my thing is this. If you want to get a quarterback, you get one, especially in a rich draft like this. You need to get the quarterback position built out because guess what? Tyrod Taylor ain't here for the long haul. Guy sneezes and is injured, okay? So Davis Webb, he ain't cutting it. He's basically holding a clipboard right now. He's got 1 foot out the door and 1 foot into coaching. So you need it. And Daniel hasn't proven that he can stay healthy. He's banged up this season too. He's gutting through the performance, but that means he's still injured again. So those are things you want to think about. And not to mention the finances. People don't want to talk about finances, but if you pay Daniel Jones the franchise tag, which is $30 million, that is $30 million off the top of your salary cap, meaning there is no other money to play with. That $30 million that you want to, get your sexy receiver or whatever other player you deem worthy of paying, you cannot, because half your cap is going to be tied up to a guy one season.
I mean, I think Daniel Jones compared to Alex Smith is actually a lot closer than we think because they're very similar style quarterbacks. Guys that can scramble in and out of the pocket, guys that won't put up incredible numbers, guys that are like solid quarterbacks, like a little bit above average quarterbacks, not really game managers. They can make plays. There's a correlation between Daniel Jones and Alex Smith. They're very similar in the type of quarterbacks they are. So it does make
Jones
sense.
Jones is the next Montana.
No.
You better stop that.
Listen, he's messing with you. He knows that it gets my goat. But the thing is this. Here's my thing. Okay.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys go sub up to Coach right there. Click on that link.
I think that you can do better than those guys. That's what I believe. That's what I think. That's what I believe. You can do better than those. Like Alex Smith was replaced. What happened? Who else did you mention? Jared Goff was traded. They went to a Super Bowl with that guy. Traded. Freaking Jimmy G. They loved him. They cut him and then said, "Hey, take a reduced salary." That is, we love you so much. Take a reduced salary. Oh, and by the way, Ryan Tannehill has done nothing for Tennessee. They want him out of there too. So
Yeah.
this is what I'm talking about. Everyone's like, oh, you can win. Yeah, look at the Brad Johnsons of the world. Like, yeah, but his defense was a Hall of Fame defense.
Look at the
But
skill set.
Adam, if I can just add something maybe a little different to the other side of the argument is maybe is for us. It's New York Giants, man. We haven't been winning in so long that now this winning thing is just, hey, however it took, whatever
Different
it
kind of
takes.
sauce we're drinking here.
And right now, it's winning with him, and it's just maybe that's also what it is. This winning thing is new for the New York Giants in recent history, at least. Anyway, I mean, we got the guys that playing on this current New York Giant roster. The ones that's been here, they haven't won anything. You know what I mean? At all. Their whole entire careers with the New York Giants. Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones. I mean, Sterling Shepard, unfortunately, he's out for the rest of the season injured, but at the same time, these guys have not been winning football games, man. So it's just that's I think makes this a little this Daniel Jones thing's a little more trickier too. Right now, it's just because we haven't seen this level of winning, of just competing.
Right. And that's why and that's why I think people are blinded by the blinders, right? Because they're so happy that they're winning that they're going to take a quarterback who could possibly throw for under 3,000 yards and be like, yeah, that's great. Woo! You know, like, hey, high five, you know, because you're winning. And I'm like, all right, well, because the NFL is it's not fun. They find you, they'll seek you out, and they will make you exposed. Look at Ryan Tannehill every year. They stopped Derrick Henry last year. They put the game in his hands. He forces a football to the receiver, picked off. Cincinnati is going on to the next round. Okay. And what happened with the quarterback on the other side? 9 sacks, not putting the ball in harm's way. He made it. Joe Burrow, we believe, is better than Daniel Jones and better than Ryan Tannehill. So if you're going to tell me that his floor is Ryan Tannehill and his ceiling is Alex Smith, both those guys got replaced. They were on second and third teams. You know what I mean? I want a guy that I know is going to be reliable, that's going to throw me out of a jam. That we have Saquon Barkley, we're on cruise control. We don't need to worry. But if shit happens, I don't need to worry about, oh, well, you know, we only had David Sills. No, he made David Sills better. A lot of these quarterbacks do that. Okay. Everyone's like, well, Peyton Manning threw to this guy. Yeah, but he also made players on the field. He made careers. So did Tom Brady. Tell me who David Patton was. Tell me who David Givens was. Okay. Barely. He made Deion Branch a household name. That guy went to another team and stunk.
David Patton was a former New York Giant.
Seattle gave him the bag, and he never.
We don't have that kind of money though, Almighty. Like we don't have $45 million.
No, I don't want to touch Deshaun Watson right now. I don't want to touch that. I don't want.
Every week a new chick comes out and files another complaint. Yep. Every week.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with Deshaun
Watson. Well, you know, it's like, to me, it's like I don't really want Watson either. But what I'm looking at it is like when you have a car, right? And you're paying this money on this car, and someone tells you at the dealership, yo, man, I can get you an upgrade to a better car. It's the newest model with the leather seats, the heated trim, and the TV and the dashboard for less money that you pay right now for that clunker that you're driving down the street. You're going to be like, well, you know, this clunker's done me so well, you know, it's got me to the point. No, but you're going to take that shit. You're going to take that shit and you're going to run with it. You're saying, wait, I get all this and I pay less money? Nice. Nice. Let me upgrade.
He makes a good point. Bookends does make a good point. It might not be, for me, it's the little things I see. 5 for 5 on a touchdown drive, 7 for 10 on a 3rd and long, making key plays to get us in the end zone, not necessarily the winning. Daniel Jones has been doing that this year. You can't take it away from him. He has.
I'm not taking away from anybody. That's what you're not understanding.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying detractors out there in general.
I'm not forgetting the other 2 seasons either that he was a bupkis.
But it's a different season now, a different coach.
No. You don't just. No. I'm sorry. You don't just erase those seasons. Say, oh, they didn't happen.
Erasing them. It's not erasing them, but I think it's clearly. I think we're proving that there was clearly some circumstances that was contributing to holding this young man back. Also, I mean, I think that's pretty evident right now. Like what you
understand.
A roster that's built pretty much exactly the same way, and the biggest change is the coaching staff, the regime that's in there coaching these kids up.
Yep.
It looks like there was some circumstances
Well,
holding this kid
how
back.
about this? How about we play this devil's advocate? Since nobody wants to, since everyone wants to shun me and my idea
Adam,
of
you
what's going
suck.
on here,
Daniel
shun
Jones
me
is
as a
your guy,
Giant fan.
Adam. You suck.
Burn me at the stakes here. I feel like I'm Frankenstein and I'm being chased by the
No.
villagers
Remember
with
what
the
you said to me the
pitchfork.
other
Go
day?
get that
You're
man
the,
a
you're
Daniel
the, you're
Jones
the,
jersey.
you're the heel, Adam, man. You're the heel. You're the Bray Wyatt. You're the heel.
I am a great heel. I am like the Ric Flair of Daniel Jones right now, or the Rowdy Piper of Daniel Jones. Okay, everybody hates me, but come into my pit. I'm going to throw you through a window. Okay, like I don't. It's my look.
You alive.
Exactly. I will hit you with my shillelagh if I have to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that you're wrong in any of this. What about the coaching, right? The coaching, are we sure that they're not masking Daniel? Because we never see the guy go deep. Do we ever see the guy go deep? Okay, and then the offensive line is supposed to be better. Okay, the deep ball is supposed to be better. The guy averages 6 yards in pass play. I mean, come on. Like, give me 7, give me 8. Throw me the ball downfield.
Throwing the ball to fifth-round picks and practice squad receivers.
I'm sorry, Darius Slayton. I heard everybody told me on the offseason how good of a player he is. So now I'm supposed to be like, oh, well, Darius Slayton. No, sorry.
He took a couple shots. He's taking a couple more shots the last couple of weeks.
I really want to see what Wandale wants to do too, because I think Wandale could be a guy that we are going to be excited about seeing, because he looked pretty good in his first game back. So, and Bellinger too.
I do want to give Adam a hypothetical. Okay, hypothetically, Adam, if Daniel Jones had Justin Jefferson on the roster, what do you think his numbers would be?
Barely over 200 yards. I just don't think I don't think you're going to see. It has to do with talent as well. Okay, he's a sixth overall pick, and we're happy.
He's got that look on his face right now. If you said that,
he's a 6th overall pick. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Look at the average quarterbacks. Jimmy G has all those weapons. He's still average,
they're
right?
Not letting him go. They're trying to build.
Am I wrong? Jimmy G, you're not. Let me ask you this question: Ryan Tannehill and Jimmy G, are you excited about those guys?
I'm not, but I think Daniel Jones honestly brings a little more to the table than both of those guys. A little bit more.
Does he bring more to the table than those two guys?
Based off of what he can do with his legs alone, he's a little bit more of a.
Tannehill can scramble.
I mean, yeah, but I
Daniel Jones.
I think
he was a receiver. He was a receiver in college. He can scramble. He ran a 4.6.
He's actually done really good scrambling out of the pocket. He's had some big plays. So I mean, Daniel Jones is getting it done with his legs too.
I'm just wondering. I'm just saying. You guys laugh at me. No. You laugh at my points. No. And I'm just saying. No one's laughing with me because trust me. I'm on this island by myself. I'm on the island of irrelevancy right now. Nobody wants to be my friend. No one wants to shake my hand. No one even wants to slide a cup of water over to my side of the table because. Exactly. So the thing listen, all I'm saying to you guys is if you're not going to pay him the $100 million as a franchise quarterback, then he's only a stopgap quarterback till you get the next guy in, which means it doesn't. Daniel Jones to me, just like Ryan Tannehill, just like Jimmy G, doesn't stop me from drafting a quarterback. Just like those guys, even Alex Smith, they drafted a quarterback with those guys as the incumbent starter. That's all I'm saying.
I don't disagree with you at all. I mean, maybe that's what they're thinking after the season. None of us are saying that DJ is 100% the answer, but at the same time, we have to give credit where credit is due. DJ is playing well. DJ is playing very well in the season. The numbers might not reflect
Did I not say he's playing good football? Yes, I say I want better.
I didn't say that. But of course we all want better. But maybe the better is still to come.
Almighty Finesse knows what I'm talking about.
Maybe it's a John Elway type of career, Adam.
He's actually made a good point. Maybe it's like a Phil Simms career. Would you like a Phil Simms?
Yeah.
Yes, but you saw Phil Simms had talent coming out the gate. This guy were like, oh, well, we didn't have this, we didn't have that. Yeah, how many fucking but is he a 6th overall talent? Is he a 6th overall talent?
Well, look,
No, we all
one thing for
know.
certain and two things for sure. We riding out with Daniel Jones at least the rest of this year, and we gonna see
Yes,
what happens, man,
exactly.
at the end of the season, man.
Well, you know what? I will be on my island. I don't want any postcards from you guys. I don't want
Island
any gift cards.
relevancy.
I don't even want you to call me up.
We will come rescue you,
Can
Adam.
we
We will
talk
come
about
rescue
something
you.
that's really that we all can agree on, and that's the next
Yes.
topic, and that, of course,
Yes.
is number 26, the best mother effing running back in football,
Absolutely.
Saquon Barkley. The
Brings us
GOAT.
to our final topic of the day. How great is Saquon Barkley doing right now? Jeff, you go right ahead.
Oh my God! How? Hey, people, do you still want to trade for? You want to still trade Saquon Barkley? You know, trash running back, mascot. You know, the people that call him the quote unquote mascot. You still want to trade him?
Trade him for whatever we can get for him too, Jeff. People just wanted to just basically
absolutely.
give him
Doesn't
away.
matter what it is, just trade him. Get rid of him. We don't need him. He's just leading the league in scrimmage yards. He's just second in the league in rushing. But no, we don't need him. He's garbage. I mean, Saquon Barkley, I love what this dude is doing because he heard the noise. He heard everybody trash this dude. He's done. He can't get it done. He's finished. Get rid of him. You know what Saquon Barkley's doing? He's taking all that hate that everybody's been bringing him this offseason. He's got that major chip on his shoulder, and he's going out there, and he's running with a purpose right now on that field. He is right now showing the league this year that he's still that damn good. He's still that dude. In the passing game, in the rushing game, even his blitz pickup and his pass protection has gotten a hell of a lot better in this year. So, I mean, can we start giving this dude the respect he deserves as a top running back in the NFL? This dude is back to what he was in 2018. That dual threat, explosive player on the outside. You could bottle him up for oh so long, but it's just a matter of time until that 40, 50, 60-yard play is coming from Saquon Barkley. It happens every single game so far this year that he's done that. Yeah, had teams that bottled him up for the entire game, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, there's that explosive play from the running game or from the passing game. Saquon Barkley is still that dude, and he's proven it now. Second year coming off that ACL, 100%, back to doing what he does best, chip on his shoulder, and proving to the league that this dude is still a top 3, if not the best running back in football. You guys can go ahead.
Well, look. Saquon Barkley is exactly what I always known he was. He's been banged up. He's been injured the last couple of years. And everybody took that opportunity to think this dude was washed, to think he was a bust, to think he wasn't worthy of the number 2 overall pick in the draft. And you can have your opinion about how high to pick running backs in the drafts. But sometimes when you got a guy, a generational talent, sitting there staring at you in the lap, right, just stare, you got to pick him. You got to call that name.
He's paying like a number 2 overall pick.
You got to run that. You got to run that name up to the board, up to the commissioner, and say we want this guy right here. I mean, because look, he was the top rated player in that draft class, and I don't even think it was really close. So, say you got an opportunity to draft a guy like that, you take it. And you saw what he did his rookie season. You absolutely saw what he did his rookie season. And now he's healthy again, and you're seeing what he's doing again. This man is legit. He is the real deal. And he is one of the best, if not the best, pure running backs
Chubb don't catch the ball.
in this league. He can do it all, literally. And he's a damn difference maker. You see what he's doing for this New York Giant offense this season. This offense, he's the only thing explosive on this offense. The only thing.
Yep.
That's it. When teams prepare defensively to face the New York Giants, they're mostly preparing to face Saquon Barkley.
And they're still not stopping them.
They're not that concerned with anybody else, to be quite honest. That's just facts. That's just facts. So this guy's a difference maker, you know what I mean? And you gotta come on, you gotta keep Saquon around. You gotta figure out whatever you gotta do to keep this man
heart and soul this team
in New York.
He is.
Because exactly. When healthy, he's the man.
You know, a good running back really helps a good young quarterback. So, if I had my choice, if I was keeping him, I'd probably keep Saquon for the fact that I can replace Daniel and still get the same production, but I can't get the same production out of Saquon Barkley from just any back coming in. So therein lies my problem and my issue. So for me, Saquon Barkley is the offense. He's carrying the offense. He is making it easier for a guy like Daniel to not make mistakes. When you are that good and you are carrying this team week in and week out, no matter what people say, that this offense goes as 26 goes. If 26 is not in the game for a long period of time, they'll get things done. But I just feel like he is the man. He is the engine that makes this car move. And it's tough because I like Saquon a lot. And I don't mind if you pay him. You know what I mean? I don't believe in all that curse of the running backs and everything like that. You pay your players. If you like him, you pay him. He's a giant. He was drafted here. He's got 3,000 yards in his career, a little bit more than that. He's probably going to have closer to 1,700 yards hopefully by the time it's said and done. I don't think there's any back in the league that does what he does right now. And I think you sometimes you got to keep your players, and you just got to keep the ones that are explosive. He helps no matter what. He can help anybody. Tyrod Taylor comes in. He can make Tyrod Taylor look good. I come in at quarterback. He can make me look good, or receiver. He just does so much, and I appreciate him. Yes, did I like Quentin Nelson? I was a guy who probably would have drafted Quentin Nelson just because I liked the offense. I thought that offensive line is a big thing. I didn't mind Barkley at 2. I wasn't one of those guys who was like, why do you pick a running back at 2? I was like, the dude's good. The dude's great.
Cheering when the Browns took Mayfield. I was cheering when they took Mayfield.
I was ecstatic.
Yes, sir.
Ecstatic.
But I mean, like, you can. I'm not saying you can't replace a running back. You can, but the running back the thing that he's doing in this league right now in this season are Hall of Fame worthy. That's how good he's playing. He's on that type of level where he makes the whole team better. He's the face of the franchise. That's why he's on all the billboards.
And not to interrupt quickly, Adam, but he's the heart and soul of this team. I mean, when you think about the heart and soul of the New York Football Giants, you could say it's partially Daniel Jones, but it is freaking Saquon Barkley.
I would say it's Saquon Barkley.
Take the heart and soul out of this franchise right now, and you'll see what the New York Giants are. Barkley is the heart and soul and energy of this franchise.
He is their face right now. He goes to all the meetings. He's their superstar player. I mean, he's like normally Eli would be that guy, but the torch has been passed to Saquon. He's bigger than the quarterback. Like, that's how big of a star he is. Right, the quarterback. You can go to different parts of the country, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Daniel Jones." Hey, you go to different parts of the country, and they'll know Saquon Barkley. They'll be like, "Oh man, that guy's great." You know what I mean? So there's a difference with him, and you got to keep these guys around, especially stars. Giants, when they get stars, keep them. I know people are worried about that, and like Beckham was a different breed. He's a little different animal, kind of weird, kind of out there, kind of little narcissistic, and I think that's the reason why Odell was Odell. This guy has a level head. He knows. He doesn't come out. He's the exact player you want as a football player. Tough, smart, and fucking good.
He's a leader.
Absolutely. And for all you Giants fans that's like, trade Barkley, shut the fuck up. All right, just shut the fuck up. If he was 1-5, okay, maybe, because it's clean house. We're 5-1, and he's the main focus why we're 5-1. Him and our defense. So stop it with the trade Barkley. It's so stupid. It makes you look dumb. It makes you look really dumb. Like, why would we trade our offense? You're gonna trade our offense? Okay. Then what do we do?
Oh, we want the draft picks. Get draft picks next year. Yeah, is any of those draft picks gonna be Saquon fucking Barkley? No.
So
yes, but some of those draft tricks could definitely be Daniel Jones. But
Almighty, it was rumored that if the Cleveland Browns would have took Saquon Barkley #1 overall, that the Giants would have drafted Sam Darnold #2.
Thank God we didn't do that.
Well, no, you know what? Hold on a minute. Maybe in Patrick Shermer's offense, he does a different story. It's a different story we're talking about. Because he goes to Adam Gase or whoever the hell drafted him.
Tom Bowles, I think, was the original coach.
So they didn't do anything to help him out. And when you do things like that, that's why a lot of these quarterbacks fail. It's because situations that they're put in. Okay. They go to these teams that stink, drafting at number 6 overall, number 1 overall, and they go there. It's not always where you get to go to Kansas City or to Pittsburgh or a team that's good. Like, look at Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett's in the perfect organization. He went to the right organization. If he goes to the Lions, Kenny Pickett's probably another bust in the NFL, right? But he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who know what they're going to get out of him, see him every year. They saw him all 4 years of college. He played right in their backyard. Every Saturday, every Friday, whenever they had practice, they can go out and watch Kenny Pickett. They knew what they were getting themselves into. So they know what to do. He goes to a different team that doesn't have that familiarity with him, and he ends up being a bust. That's what happens with these teams. Look at Trey Lance. Trey Lance barely played football. The 49ers, I don't know what they were smoking, but they're like, hey, man, let's get this guy, right? They had Mac Jones. They had other guys that could have chose. They chose this guy. Now they have to ride with him. And that's their window of opportunity. And next year he's going to be their quarterback.
He's done nothing so far this year, too. Trey Lance has been a big mystery for the 49ers team, so couldn't even last a couple of games of the season. And he's still going to be a mystery this third year.
Like drafting is such a unique science where you're not always going to get it right. And what our draft class is doing is remarkable. A lot of them are injured, but a lot of them are contributing, right? Kayvon Thibodeau's contributing. Evan Neal's contributing. Josh Azudu's contributing. Wandale Robinson. Not everybody can say that their rookie class has that much.
Daniel Bellinger might be our best pick right now, the way he's playing.
Right, exactly. For pound for what he's doing, right? So you're not always going to hit on every draft pick. And next year the Giants are going to be lower in the totem pole. They're going to be in, the 20s, 25, something like that if they get eliminated in the playoffs. And you're going to have the Kadarius Toney type players where, the guy may not be a hit. He may not be somebody that's on your radar. He may not be the sexy, ESPN pick. It's about what these guys see. And that's why I'm saying, like, there's a lot that's going to happen. If you want somebody, they need somebody, they want to get somebody, they're going to get them. Right, Barkley is one of those players that is irreplaceable to me. He is irreplaceable. You cannot get to say, I don't care what you say about getting running back. You can get a running back.
Barkleys don't grow on trees. They don't.
And I'm sick and tired of watching our draft picks go away and letting our draft picks go. What do the good teams always do? They keep their good players. When the hell was the last time we kept our good players? It's about time we actually keep our draft picks here. I don't give a crap if it's a different regime that drafted them. They're good, you keep them. And Barkley's good, you keep him.
Exactly. And that's why, like, if I were to do this and I were Joe Shane and I'm looking at the two guys at the top, Daniel and Saquon, and I'm looking at who I can do better with going forward, I'm probably going to take Saquon Barkley. Only because if I decide to draft a quarterback or bring in a veteran, I know that Saquon is going to give me the best chance of winning the games. If I get rid of Saquon, is Daniel going to be the same player? Probably not. He doesn't probably have that same thing. So now if you bring in a new quarterback and you have a Saquon Barkley there, that's a difference maker. That is a total difference maker. And imagine if you had Lamar Jackson type and Saquon Barkley back there. Oh, boy.
Imagine we had an elite wide receiver out there on the field. Like we actually had a true number one and not the garbage receivers we've had.
Maybe we get a Jordan Anderson, not a SC. I'm just being an SC fan, but Jordan Anderson is great. He's going.
Check out that kid from TCU. 6'4", is like 200 plus pounds.
The thing is, like, as well. You got to look at it like this. If Addison's not going to make it to where the Giants are picking, then it's going to be a pipe dream because right now, even though receivers they call them a dime a dozen, I don't believe so. There's elite guys, and then there's a second crop of guys that can work, that works well because you're in a passing league like Christian Kirk. I don't think he's like a dominant number one, but he played well enough in Arizona to get himself a big contract, and now he's the number one in Jacksonville.
He's not been bad in Jacksonville this year either. He's actually pretty solid.
But I don't think he's been $100 million. So my point is,
you're going to shut him down.
What's funny that you just? I'm sorry to make a shameless plug here, but I made that exact point on my preview show that just came out earlier, like that about Christian Kirk. Like, yeah, he's been solid, but he hasn't been like that, like worth the contract they gave him. He hasn't been.
Hey, he scored a touchdown at least. Not like our guy. He has a touchdown at least. He has 4.
Well, right. But so if you think you can get a Christian Kirk, then you don't draft guys. My point is like we wanted Devontae Smith. If we had gotten Devontae Smith or over Kadarius Toney,
we'll fast at him. All right. How much would you give Lamar? That's a slap in the face. Almighty. Continue.
He's gonna want more than that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson is going to laugh at that offer, bro.
Yeah, he is.
He's going to laugh at that.
He'll laugh at it and hang up the phone and ask him to renegotiate a better contract than that.
I mean, Deshaun Watson kind of ruined it for us because
who ruined it for us? Kyler fucking Murray ruined it for us.
Shit, Mahomes' contract is ridiculous too.
What is like 3? What is it?
Russell Wilson's contract.
Oh my God, that contract looks so bad now in Denver.
8 or 9 quarterbacks is making over $40 million this season.
Why the hell is Denver still on prime time?
This is what I keep telling you.
Why?
You go down the list. Down the list. You're gonna have to pay somebody, and that's what you do. You pay for listen. You don't think Mahomes is worth all that money?
Can I answer this question real quickly? Chris Godwin just got an extension with Tampa Bay. We're not paying him anything because he just signed an extension last offseason.
Why do we keep bringing up that guy, man?
Because he loves Chris Godwin. And the dude is coming off a torn ACL and he's been hurt a lot this year too. So no.
We keep going down. This ain't Madden, People think this is Madden. We can just trade for whoever the fuck we want, whenever the fuck we want. Hey, you know what? Trade deadline. We don't need that shit. We're in Madden. We can just trade.
We'll take Tom Brady. We'll take.
Let's just turn off.
Hey, we're going to the playoffs.
We'll take everybody.
How about we edit their attributes and put everybody at 99? Give me a break.
I didn't know that Joe Shane had a money printer.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just get every single great player and put him on the New York Football Giants. That's fine.
It's like every receiver you want to bring up. Hey, they got a receiver over in Los Angeles, the Chargers. What about Keenan Allen? You think he's available? How about Mike Williams? Give me a break. Oh, I think Jamar Chase is on the chopping block. Let's call them. Or how about the Jets? Elijah Moore. Stop it.
That kid needs a reality check, and I'm glad you brought that kid up because that kid needs a reality check over there in New York.
Look at your team, bro.
That kid needs a reality check over there. You're 4-2, and your team is on the rise. Why are you being a selfish prick over there with the New York Jets?
Some people love it. Miz was talking to me. He's like, "Oh, I love the competitive." I don't really care because he's on the Jets, but I think I don't know where his intentions are, and I think if he keeps winning, who knows? I don't. To me, they want to play with friends. Everybody wants to play with their friends now. Yeah. I want to go back to the Michael Jordan days where I didn't want to play with my friends. I want to kick my friend's ass when they was on a different team. Hey, Charles, how are you? Don't come over here because I'm going to kick your ass. That's what I'm going to do. Because guess what?
He's right. He wants the ball. That's why he's complaining because he only got one target in that offense. They're going more to Corey Davis.
Would you rather get the fucking ball or win games?
I'd rather win. I'd rather win right now. I'm sorry. Jets are looking like a pretty good team right now, and you have to, keep your pride inside and just be happy your team is winning. You'll get the ball eventually.
One way he gets the ball is you just get so wide open they can't help it but to have to pass to you.
Exactly.
So just do that.
Exactly.
Apparently he's been
or maybe their quarterback can't find him when he's open. Oh.
I'm going to just say this.
Zach's actually been pretty solid.
I'm sorry for bringing his name up because he's my favorite receiver in the league, okay? You think Mike Evans ever complains? You think Mike Evans is a diva? No.
He's had some shitty quarterbacks over the years, too. He had Josh Freeman as his quarterback one year. Josh Freeman.
No, he's not. You're lying. Is he really? Over Elijah?
No.
Elijah. Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
Berrios is good, but Elijah Moore's ahead of them. It's just the dude is – they're not featuring him in the offense right now because he's not getting open. They heard the kid's getting plastered. He's like Kenny Galladay over there. He's getting plastered on his
Evans. A meat rider. What the hell kind of people do we have in the chat?
No, because I told Logan the other day, if I'm drafting the team right now, I would take Mike Evans over Adams.
No,
if I'm drafting the team, I'm
Corey
taking Mike
Davis.
Evans over
Adams. Almighty finesse.
We don't need Corey Davis.
I'd like to know who would you not want on the Giants?
Exactly, like Corey Davis.
You seen on everybody.
I don't
Let's go sign T.Y. Hilton.
I want to know who you wouldn't want on the Giants.
Go sign T.Y. Hilton.
Oh, Matt, please don't. He's going to start suggesting every
No,
single
he's
player.
going to name everybody under the sun.
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody
God.
that's a player in the NFL.
Oh, Marvin Jones.
Washington's going to trade Terry McLaurin to us. Yeah, they just signed him to an extension, but no, they're going to trade him to us. Exactly.
Almighty finesse, man. What is going on here?
Double-digit salary.
It must be that. It's the bewitching hour, isn't it? It's the bewitching hour. All the loonies are out right now talking about getting Terry McLaurin.
It's pretty much their Sterling Shepard, a good player, but
damn it! You opened up the damn can of worms. And now we can't put him back in. We can't put him back in, Mac. We can't put him back in.
Now that all of these going to start.
You know what it is? It's like that potato chip thing where you open it up and the snake pops out. That's what's happening right now. We just got pranked. We just got punked on our own show. The guy's going to keep naming names. Oh, here comes another one. Here comes another name. Here comes another name.
Let's call up Cincinnati and ask if we can have E. Higgins and. Yeah, he has bit the cheese.
Shout out to Coach EDD.
Coach, thank you. Let's call Cincinnati and see if they want to give us Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, and we'll give them Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney, and David Sills. Is that a fair trade? Maybe Cincinnati will think about that. Yeah.
Maybe they should bring in David Sills. He's an accountant. He could be my attorney.
Yeah. I mean, come on, David Sills. Let's go.
Is he really an accountant?
That kid.
I don't know. He looks like it in his profile picture, so I was just going to go with it.
He might be.
He was from West Virginia. I think he was studying something like that. I'm like, oh, well, all right, maybe you're better than him.
Hey, he's a former quarterback. Maybe he can play quarterback for us a little bit.
Oh, yeah, who knows? Why didn't we put him in the Wildcat? Oh, because he can't throw? Yeah. David Sills.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. Almighty finesse. We went down the rabbit hole. Mac, I blame you. For this. Curiosity killed the cat back. That's what happened. And now it's killing the discussion. Now it's killing the discussion.
Bookend tackles. We appreciate
our buddy Timothy Fritz is saying like we're going to trade this guy for this pick and this guy for this pick. Can't forget about those great trade rumors that he threw out there.
Hey, last time I checked, Madden is I think the new Madden is out. We can all play it together online, all four of us. We can have a live stream draft of our fantasy draft and just draft every player in the league. I think I'm going to start with the receiver. I think I'm going to go with Adam Thielen. I think I'm going to go with DeAndre Hopkins. I think he's available. You know, he just came back. I think he's available. Hey, how about let's keep going. Why don't we keep going? Mike Evans, we can go down the list.
I heard he's available. Let's get
oh my God, Julio Jones. Oh my God, we can pull him off the. Hey, you know who else is available? Terrell Owens, a 48-year-old playing indoor league.
Tennessee just released Josh Gordon.
Oh my God! Oh my God! So we don't have to do much for him. We could just bring him some edibles and some pot, and boom, he'll be on our team. He could just sign for some drugs, and we'll be good to go.
Let's just go to
we will pay him in ounces. We will pay him in ounces every game. He gets an ounce. Every game on the roster, you get an ounce, kiddo. Good job. Hey,
let's bring back Mohamed Sanu to the tri-state area.
Let's just go over the limits. We'll sign in Antonio Brown.
Hey, no, I'm bringing it back right now. I'm going giant old school. I'm bringing in Chris Callaway to save this receiving core. Chris Callaway off the street.
Throw Amani out there?
Hey, maybe I should call Dominic Hickson up there. Maybe I should call Dominic Hickson. I think Dominic is still around.
Is Hakeem Nicks? Can he still play?
Oh, you know who's good? Jarrell Jernigan. Oh, my God. That's a great guy.
Norris Moss.
Double J.
As long as we don't call Preston Porker, I'm good.
Oh, no, man. Hey, listen. You do not knock on my Tiki Torch building, homie, okay? He was out there building Tiki Torches for a freaking Walmart, comes in and catches touchdowns for the New York Giants the next week. You do not knock him.
Maybe we can watch him do flips over the middle of the
field.
Oh,
man, we have gone off the rails. We have gone off the This has gone off the rails. Realistically, I could see us getting Calvin Ridley. Yeah, when his suspension is lifted. My God, come on, bro. Realistically.
What realism is that?
Madden.
Batman. You know what? Batman has as many touchdowns right now.
I'm going to sign Superman because and the Flash because those two guys would be in the end zone before you would know it. Speeding Bullet and the Flash. Come on, man. Give me Batman. What is he going to grapple his way to the end zone?
Get
out of here.
Disrespect to Batman, but he'd still
They'll
have
throw a
more
little
touchdowns.
batarang to the end
He'd still
zone. Come
have
on.
more touchdowns than Kenny Galladay and Kadarius Toney. Let's be
My
real here.
God,
Okay?
we're sitting here talking about getting every damn receiver under man. This is why it's 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
We all need to go to bed. The chat needs to go to bed with these mother freaking answers,
Swear to Lord,
pulling
what
out receivers out of their butt cheeks. They just farting dumb answers. Oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another one. It's like fucking sharding right now. It's all over the place.
Tim Carter.
Alrighty. Before we get out of here tonight, that got a little out of control. That was lovely though. It was hilarious. Almighty, you were crazy. That being said, though, before we get out of here, before we shout out our channels, and Mac's gonna end it with a great wrap up. Should have done the intro actually. That being said, though, predictions for tomorrow. Starting with you, Jeff.
Oh, we're gonna kick their ass. It's gonna be 24-10, New York Football Giants. Make it short and sweet.
I like it. Adam.
We're gonna win. That's all. We're gonna win.
Oh, we're gonna win. I love it. So, Mac, we're gonna.
I don't need a score.
Cover that spread, Mac. Gonna take that +3, Mac. What are we doing tomorrow? What's the final prediction of the score?
I'm definitely taking the +3 because.
What's your score, Mac? Isn't it 37-17?
We are going to win. Yes, it is. That's exactly what my score is, Adam. Glad you remembered that. 37-17.
Because that is the beer.
Jaguars,
that is the beer score. If you don't know, Mac called the score last week for the Ravens game. He had hit it on the nose, right? This week he's called the score for the Jaguar game. I said that if you get this score, Mac, I will be mailing you beers to your house or an adult beverage of your choice to your house.
Thing on the market. Buy like a
I ain't got that much money. Okay, so you can get whatever beer you so choose. Okay, try to get the highest. Get me with the highest thing. Whatever beer you choose will be sent to your house. Them IPAs are expensive now.
Oh,
man, Zion, just volunteering my wallet. Give me a break, man. Hey, why don't you just order the lobster or the flaming yard while you're at it?
Absolutely. So,
there you go.
I have us winning 37. I was gonna say 30. I have us winning. I'm max at 37. You know what? I'm gonna be realistic. Not like 37 ain't realistic, but I'm gonna say 34-28. I do like what Doug Peterson is doing with Trevor Lawrence. Don't get fooled, guys. They're not a 2-4 team. They're playing way better than a 2-4 team. I don't understand why we're underdogs here, but it is what it is. I'm for sure gonna put that in the parlay tomorrow. That being said, guys, you can find me at Zion Zenith. Please go subscribe to all these great content creators. Jeff, Adam, you go ahead, plug you guys' channels. Make sure you guys sub to all these content creators in the chat as well. We got LGZ in the house. We got Almighty Finesse in the house. Namir, Coach. We had everybody in the house today, guys. So make sure you go subscribe to all of these great content creators, guys. And go right ahead and plug your channel, Jeff. Plug your channel, Adam. And then Mac is going to round us up with his outro.
First, I want to say it's good to have the Four Horsemen back together. It's been a long time, but damn, is it good to have the Four Horsemen back together, doing what we do and doing what we do better than anybody else does out there. I just want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And NYGJeffyT85 cover the Giants, Nets, Mets, WWE, and a little AEW. And I just want to say it's awesome being able to do this show again with these amazing content creators on the panel. Thank you, everybody, for coming by the show tonight. We appreciate it. And let's go, New York motherfucking Giants.
Well, in the words of Carl Banks and LT, we're back. We're back. So we're back. Rob Bremen takes back for you guys because we couldn't handle just sitting here, it's twiddling our thumbs. There's so much sports, so many things going on. We had to tell you guys, this is why I love this show. I love these guys. They bring all different angles, all different viewpoints. Not only are they co-hosts, but they're friends. I call these guys up regularly, talk sports. Mac, I don't know what he's doing, but he answers my phone call every time. Good God, man. I'm like, man, I'm going to get this dude fired. But he answers answers my damn call. So I thank you guys for listening to me, giving me an outlet, let me be on my island of irrelevancy. And yeah, you can. My show is the
You'll
hurry up.
eventually go to the Daniel
You can-
Jones side. Don't worry.
My ass.
Side.
I rather you my ass. Give me. Can I get out? Can I do an outro before you stumble me over the DJ? God. Catch me with the hurry up where I rant about how DJ has a big Adam's apple. Okay, that's the hurry up. It's my show. And I can't even get the rest of it out because everyone's got. It's like SNL when the skit goes bad. You know what I mean? Everybody's laughing.
Adam's apple.
You know? Yeah. Now you won't be able to not look at it. Now you won't be able to not look at it. And then me
Exactly
and Mac the
right.
Giant Fan, 5:30s Wednesday night, we bring it to you. Real deal. It's the real deal NFC East roundup, and we kill it every week. Come tune in. We are fire. We are burning down YouTube. It didn't crack, okay? Stop trying to play with me this time. It did not go high pitch. You got me once, you ain't getting me twice.
I'm not gonna be able to stop staring now. It's like it's the
I'm just
Adam's
joking,
apple
Adam.
the entire time. Damn.
You're the best.
Oh,
Let's get it. Wrap us up here, Mac.
Mac,
Y'all
take us
know what
home,
it
bro.
is, man. I am Mac the Giants fan, MACDA Giants fan. And like my guy Adam just said, each and every Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, tune in for an episode of the Real Deal NFC East Roundup. That's how you know you come in. You just come in and join us on Wednesday
notes,
night.
Adam.
Me
Take
and
notes.
Adam. Me and Adam.
Yeah, take those, Adam.
We kick that shit.
Round two.
We're gonna give it to you raw, man. We're gonna give it to you raw about the whole
I
entire
hate
NFC
y'all.
East,
I just
man.
gave you all the nice words, and you're gonna ruin my voice. Give me a break.
The Washington Commanders, the New York Giants, the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles. We cover all four of them every Wednesday night. Me and Adam do. And on my channel, man, I'm dropping the preview of each and every game every Saturday. And then on Sunday or Monday, whenever the New York Giants is playing, whatever they play, immediately following the game, you come to my channel live and tune into the True Blue Aftermath, man. Each and every week after following the New York Giants game, man. And for the 8 in the chat and the hundreds watching at home, this has been another episode of the Premium Take Podcast with my guys, the Horsemen, Zion Zenith, NYGJeffyT, Adam Costas,
About to
and
be
of
a
course
heel
myself, Mac, the Giants fan, man. And we will see y'all next time on the Premium Takes Podcast. Peace.